last stand, and I came to deliver. Been called a Clinton operative, a Russian, and a grifter. By libs, a washing student debt, proud to be an intern, sucking up to pigs who get a tax cut in the midterms. You cut the ties but never heal the wrist burns. Capitalist shackles wrap and penetrate like ringworms around the necks of those whose deaths will not affect the king's purse or the coffers of the company the king serves, who manufacture mandated tinctures. Their safety data hanging from a fixture, half a mile skyward, just dangling from the rafters. My grift is sobbing till I'm cackling with laughter. I guess I would have made a decent actor. I'd be great at crying on command until they cut plus 40 minutes after. When the director waves a hand, it ain't a rap, it's now a legal matter. Honey, my grift is weeping on a mic until I'm hacking up. Airstrike verses like it's bombs away and batter up. Swinging on these bigots, they keep killing us to fatten up. Kill the switch, eat the rich, I think they're finally fat enough. Grab your knife and fork, the world is yours, just say you've had enough. And if you're comfy, you could go ahead and laugh it up. Tell me how the most important vote I'll ever cast is like the choosing of a bus, in that it might not take you anywhere you want, but no one can deny the fact the bus is now no longer where it was. And that's the kind of progress we should celebrate and trust. Spoken like a kid who never took a bus. Spoken like a piece of shit that used some cash to mask his stink and truly thinks he's one of us. Spoken like a terminally unserious person who equates our cries for rights to mixed up orders from a server. It paints a privileged picture of what you would label urgent if the worst thing you've experienced in life has been the time your waiter accidentally brought a tray of gold flake scallop when you clearly ordered gold flake urchin. And now you're storming out the restaurant and hopping in a Tesla. You got 80 pounds of Tony Fauci merchant.
Rewind to chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. Rewind to a chance won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride.
To place your bets on weaponizing the identity of every limp progressive claiming grassroots integrity. Policy is a slippery slope for all of its complexity, so flex your brave resistance with this Ilhan Omar NFT. Numbered one of 723. Each depicts her valiantly championing a bill before she lays it at a donor's feet. And she can throw her hands up in the air with AOC and say if only Nina Turner could have voted present too, that's why we need another seat. We need some more progressives we elect to only tweet, who live to serve Humana and their label of elective slapped on every patient's gravest needs. And every station plays the theme that medical professionals agree on the effectiveness and safety of injections authorized for this emergency. And in purely unrelated news, the profits of the ones who manufacture vaccines just increased by nearly 36 billion with a fucking B. Sometimes it feels like we're the only ones that see. Sometimes it feels like all of us are lost at sea. And every time we think we see an island on the tip of the horizon, it turns out to be another measure making sure we're kept within the watchful eye of murderous authority. And so I guess my grift is crying for the future they denied us, where the people who would buy us are a mockable minority. And we are more than genomes under warranty. And we are more than serfs in constant quarantine. If I had a single breath left, I'd let the chorus scream. I'd announce our leaders claiming none for all and more for me. None for all and more for me. None for all and more for me. None for all and more for me.
Rewind to a chance won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. Rewind to a chance won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? Now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. Why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen?
What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? Man, I thought we were founded on abolishing the tyranny of those who would starve a village all to live empirically. And I regret that I have only one life to give for my cause now that I can see the cause so clearly. I want our leaders, regardless of party, to fear me. I will pick my targets and assassinate them lyrically. I will bring a mountain to the town square, hook them to the pillory and leave them there. Hillary, I'll see you there. Hillary, I'll see you there.
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? Now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. Why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen?
Welcome to the fantasy of rhetoric. Welcome to the last of the free speech while we can get it. And I promise you can get it. All you corporate Democrats, second wave Confederates, GOP illusionists, and neo-Nazi bureaucrats. And Stephen fucking Miller, I will see you in the aftermath. When all the laws are dust, there's just moral justice after that. And I will hunt you through the wasteland if it comes to that. So I can rub you in the dirt like a cheap human Brillo pad. I can sleep fine when our beds are burning, Stephen, but I'll turn around and run into the blaze to get my pillow back. As long as I can lay my head down, I can live with that. I can deal with a little ash. I can feel like a little of the old me burn with the bad and the rest of my past. The old world where we all lived and we can't get back. The old world where you didn't give and you'd still get back. Where you could rake in 12 billion and give none back. Those days are behind us, the virus will kill all that. Your wealth is behind us and kindness is meant for the past. Our leaders would bind us and starve us and call it a fast. A sacrament meant for their God that they garnish in cash. And they feed it the poor by the hundreds, that's all that it asks. Its hunger is legion and people in need are all it will have. So our only chance is to starve it and hope that it turns on them.
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands. Can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands.
starving all the billionaires and neutering their Visa Maxes. Topple Congress off their axis, mobilize the homeless, give them axes, call it praxis. Chop a couple limbs off the legislative branches. We'll show you the difference between air as a human right and guaranteed oxygen access. Octogenarians who barely know what day it is are culling countless citizens while sitting on a dais made of ignorance that was built on the graves of the slaves made to labor for its self-declared significance. And all to build a Congress full of millionaires who make their fortunes insider trading while they shit on all the indigent. So I got a bone to pick with our leaders, and I'll start with the ligaments. Pick right through the muscle, dig the marrow out, and serve it to the unhoused millions living in their minivans or watching their belongings get evicted from their tenement. I have a dream where we breach the walls of Congress and just let them in. And what happens next will survive in only text, cause there won't be any evidence. There will only be that heavy kind of feeling that pervades a space where there has been a reckoning and you can feel its remnants. Let any man who enters seeking power know that those who came before him suffocated on their eminence. That there once was a seal on the wall, but we quartered it and scattered all the pieces that it might prevent its semblance. And so we end the great experiment. We'll take all your billions, leave you 2 coins for the ferryman. Leave you drifting on a Dutchman floating derelict among the wretched seraphim. For holy is the hand that wiped the land clean of those who pose as gentlemen. That's my time, honey, cue the thunderclap and strike the theremin. And so we end the great experiment.
Sunday morning. Good morning, Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Situated for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face.
Nancy gonna cut you a check too late. 2 years after your funeral's paid, 2 years after the grave, she'll be a little stronger for all of the dollars she saved. Watching you wake, watching you cling to your family slipping away. Watch her do nothing but pray. Watch her condemn the Republicans, take them to brunch and then shrug it away. Now watch us be outraged half of a day, then pick a new hero to face our leaders and think they could beat them, playing the game they played since Pelosi had real human blood in her veins. They're all one and the same, sold off stocks and they all maintain that the risk was benign and the virus was tame. Flash forward in 40 Sunday mornings fade, 250,000 people in its wake, and the cruise ship sailed today. So motherfucker, don't shine a light in my face. Wait.
Good morning, Sunday morning. Good morning,
Wait.
Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Situated for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face. Situated for a warning, but the warning never.
I came to be a prophet, but I'll settle for pariah. We filled the air with DDT and called the wind Mariah. We cheer on every victory in the war against Goliath, and we watched the model Christian Smalls and pose him with Zendaya. They are gonna milk that union drip until the very last simp takes the very last sip, and when it's all wrung dry and it's not worth shit, then they'll leave it laying right where it is. You can watch them let it all drip into the ditch. Here's the sitch. Biden will invoke the witch of January 6 as a quick fix. He'll tell you that she's here to fill your bellies with some twigs and sticks, rocks, berries, and a capital brick. Concurrently, he's finger-wagging all of the Republicans while sucking their proverbial dicks. He'll fluff them up a couple of concessions in the flick of a bick. He just needs lights and a camera and prompter, and someone to monitor the prompter who knows their shit. 'Cause Joe is gonna open the show with a few short words to be chanted by old white folks wearing old white cloaks who will march in a circle around some progressive political star who is purely a place to spit.
No, Indy Left, what is happening here?
To check out IndependentLeft.news.
The Indie News Network.
Indie Left News.
Oh, hey, Indie Left.
IndependentLeft.news. Great work.
Indie Left News.
IndependentLeft.news.
Independent Left News.
Shout out to Independent Left News. Shout out.
Oh, what's up, Independent Left?
Friend show.
Thank you, IndependentLeft.news.
The INN, Indy, you're wonderful.
I think Indie was onto something.
Independent News Network, Indie News. Yeah. What's up, Indy, over on Rockfin?
Independent News Network, also known as INN.
Indie Left News.
I don't know if I would have made it through that 3 weeks without Indy, honestly.
No, I was just going to ask Indy.
A huge thank you and shout out to Indie Left.
No, you know what we're doing? We're world building, Indy.
Indie Left News.
You were doing the INN recruiting.
Indie News.
Independent Left News.
Shout out to Independent Left News.
Check out Independent Left News.
At Indie News.
I see Indy's in the chat. Hi, Indy. Okay, great. Bye.
Okay, great. Hi. Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's hi. It's Sunday night. It's How Do We Miss That? And it's Reef. Also, it's not just Indy, it's Reef too. Indy and Reef. Indy Reef. Indy. We got to make a new thing that makes us Indy Reef for this show, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Yeah, I see we've already got a decent number already here. Bye. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Colin. Hi, everybody. What's up? So, we've got a big show tonight. I have a bunch of articles, so that's going to make Reef crazy.
A big show.
A big show. I started going through some of the stories. Like, so it's completely depressing and awful. Like, yeah, in a lot of ways, but there's also some stuff that I think is going to make us kind of happy in the beginning. People potentially, holding out labor for concessions is always something that we like seeing in, because it wins and it works and it's effective and has been proven effective time and time again. And for whatever reason, I don't know why we don't keep doing it, but it's hard. It's just hard. And it takes a lot of effort and a lot of coordination and a lot of everything. But we'll get into that later. It's been a week. We're going to do American tradition. Holy moly. We're going to do an American tradition like no other, like something that's never, ever, I promise you, been done before on Tuesday. And Jesse came up with this idea, partly inspired by our previous Dr. Seuss things. Jesse Jet, that is. INN's Jesse Jet. And you can...
It's an American tradition.
There we go. Yeah, that show. Yep. So, Seuss-talica. So we've done some Dr. Seuss readings. My kids love listening to Jesse read. I actually sent him some Dr. Seuss books for Father's Day. And they're books that we're going to do on the show. And somebody asked, I think it was Greg asked about Metallica. And next thing you know, we're Seuss-talica. And he's going to do 3 Seuss songs and 3 or 4 Metallica songs. And now we've had a week to work on it. And I can't wait. That's going to be fucking awesome. Yeah, it's been a week at INN. Reef did some stuff. Misty did some stuff. Everybody did some stuff. You can check that out at the INN Substack. That's indienewsnetwork.substack.com. I put that together every week to showcase all the stuff that everybody's up to. There's so many things that people are putting together here. And I'm so excited about it and so proud of everybody at INN. Just love it. Anyway. All right. Let's get to our little intro here. Welcome, everybody, because we're at How Do We Miss It? So, How Do We Miss That is a show featuring articles written by independent journalists who expose corruption. We're going to do that tonight. Cover workers organizing. We're doing that tonight. And environmental crises. We're going to do that tonight, while challenging corporate establishment narratives and talking points. And we're certainly going to do that tonight, too. New episodes stream live Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Rockfin, Substack, Facebook, Telegram channels. We've got a podcast. Usually goes up within a day or two on Amazon, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart now as well. And there's one that's missing. I don't know which one it is, but we've got them all. I'm Indy. I'm co-host, and I'm the founder of the Indie Media Today Substack. Publishes just about every day. Created the Indie Media Awards. All right, I'm the co-host of American Tradition on INN. Producer for Bread and Circuses on INN. Executive producer for The Politics of Survival with Tar Reid on INN. And I'm also the associate producer for the Misty Winston Show on TNT Radio. I help her book stuff, and I help keep her organized, and that's a lot of fun. I got this guy sitting next to me. He's Reef Breland. All right, he's the technical director for INN. He is the creator and engineer and co-host of INN News. He's a producer for The Politics of Survival with Tar Reid on INN, as well as the main engineer, and the producer for Bitch with Comrade Misty, which is also on INN. Both of us are co-founders of...
bringing in my fucking reefer.
Yeah, well... Both of us are co-founders of Indie News Network, which is a collaborative family of independent content creators. You can find all our channels on indienews.network, and there's a couple of members. I saw Colin Radix Carter. He's in the chat tonight. He's on INN News on Wednesday nights with Reef. Please make sure to share this link, like the stream, subscribe to our channel on all the platforms where you watch and listen. We're everywhere. And also, if you're on a podcast platform, please give us a 5-star rating. Thank you. So... yeah, it's been a week. We'll go to our slideshow over here, and let's go. How we doing here? No, that's our 2-shot. No. Hey, here we go. All right, so that's our killer thumbnail. And then first story we're gonna do tonight is Summer of Strikes. So there's a lot happening.
Oh,
what? Not bowling.
Love?
No.
Summer of Love?
It's not a summer of love, although it depends. It's going to take a lot of love to make these strikes happen and to have them be successful. But Summer of Strikes, we have a few different strike actions that are about to take place, and are they going to? We'll see. The first one of them is the UPS driver strike, potentially with the Teamsters. They voted on an action, and it's now gotten to a point where even Reuters, the narrative managers of the corporate establishment news, can't ignore it any longer. So that's exciting to see. But this is actually an article written for Left Voice by a striking rank and file UPS worker activist named Greg Kerwood. And he says we must strike. Right, so that with a little over a month left in what could be the most significant labor battle in decades, UPS workers across the country are preparing to strike. Here we republish a message shared by a militant worker on the necessity of a strike. So this was published a couple days ago. Okay, so this was a great article, or a letter that was published in the lead up. All right, 340,000 UPS workers on August 1st. So they voted for strike action now, like overwhelmingly. I think it was 97%. So toward that end, with his permission, we're republishing a message from Greg Kerwood, who's a UPS driver, member of the Teamsters, that originally appeared on the UPS Teamsters 2023 contract group on June 17th, generated considerable debate. Brother Kerwood, just like sounds like Cornel West wrote that, initiated. Well, it's the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, I know. He initiated the Facebook group, which is now ballooned to over 12,600 members. So at Left Voice, we at Left Voice open our pages to UPS workers across the country as they prepare themselves for this potential historic strike. I need to share my screen with Reef so he can see it. I just realized.
Yep.
So, hold on. screens. There we go. Sorry, everybody. We're doing it live. Okay. So he says that it's become almost cliche to say that nobody wants. Oh, dude. It's become almost. Come on. I didn't want everyone to know that I was going to be doing that. But it has become almost cliche to say that nobody wants to strike, as if it were somehow uncouth to stand up for one's humanity without a qualifier. But wanting a strike is truly not the question. The question is rather, do we need a strike? And the answer is an unequivocal yes. What was that? We need a strike to unite our members at UPS and our Teamsters Union as a whole. We need a strike to create a generation of militant unionists whose education will be the picket line and whose graduation will be the launch of a new labor movement. We need a strike to create the bonds that hold labor together, that unite workers, those that can only be forged in the furnace of workplace action. We need a strike to energize the entire labor movement, to show workers what they can stand, that they can stand up, that they can fight back, that they can win. We need a strike to remind corporations of the world just who generates the record profits they enjoy every year after year. Ending this fight at UPS without striking, even with a good contract, would be the labor equivalent of a tie ball game. We as Teamsters, and speaking on behalf of Greg here, should not be playing for a tie. We should be playing to win. Surely no one believes this company will be taught a lesson or change its behavior without us withholding our labor. If the company is acquiescing to many of our demands out of fear of a job action and loss of billions, if they're feeling the heat of a potential strike, then we must push further. I love this. The time has come to finally address the issue which underlies all others at UPS, and its power. Are we going to continue to be owned by this company each day, forced to labor until our Lord and Master sees fit to let us go? Or are we going to have control over when and for how long we sell our labor? I say the latter. Until we have a finite workday, both part-time and full-time, we will continue to be at the mercy of this company, and our jobs will continue to dominate our lives. This is not asking for the world. It's simply asking that our employer recognize our humanity. Recognize that we rest and need time to recover. Recognize that we have families and lives outside of work. Recognize that personal time is not a gift, but a basic human right. And until we have this, we must strike. So make no mistake, striking a multi-billion-dollar corporation is not for the faint of heart. It requires strength, commitment, and a willingness to sacrifice in the short term for long-term gain. But I know of no workforce more suited to this task than the men and women who give their blood, sweat, and toil to this company day after day, despite being consistently treated as replaceable cogs in a big brown profit-making machine. So the answer is simply this. If you want to change your workplace and your life, if you want to organize Amazon, if you want to empower workers everywhere to join a union and fight back against the abuses of their employer, if you want to swing the pendulum of power away from corporations and back toward the working class, then we must strike. History is made by those who attempt the impossible, who fight the unwinnable, and who believe the unbelievable, who ignore the voices of the naysayers, the pundits, the experts. This is our time to make history, to right the wrongs of the last 4 decades, and to return the rewards of labor to those who create them. If you want your workplace, your life, your community, and your country to be better tomorrow than they are today, we must strike. In solidarity, that's Greg Kerwood, and that's fucking awesome. And that guy drives a UPS truck. I love it. I can't.
So does our buddy Joe, right?
Joe, INN's Joe, is a member of the UPS Brotherhood of Teamsters.
I think Jimmy worked at UPS. He was saying
He might have.
Jimmy Dore.
And they voted to strike, by the way. Joe voted. Joe voted to strike.
Let's see if the other Joe decides to let a strike happen. Let's see.
So, not only, it's at the point where even corporate media can't ignore it, to the point where you've got Reuters. They don't want to report on this, right? But what they're saying is UPS workers authorize a strike, seen as leverage for pay talks, right? They think that they're bluffing. They think that they're just using this for leverage. Okay, so this was a June 16th story, has been corrected to fix the date of the contract expiration, which expires at the end of July, I believe. Yep, on July 31st, right? So UPS employees voted overwhelmingly to authorize a strike should contract talks break down after the current agreement ends on midnight, July 31st. 340,000 workers, of which 97% of voting members approved the strike authorization, giving the union maximum leverage to win demands at the bargaining table. Right? So UPS again said it's confident the two sides will reach an agreement. UPS shares fell as much as 1.5% after the news, but quickly pared losses down to 0.6% midday trades because they have a feeling, the market feels like they're going to always crush the workers, so that doesn't really affect them very much.
Yep.
Not only that, but these companies are still wildly profitable even when they increase the pay of their employees. By the way, they can well afford to pay the money that these drivers are seeking. And they're looking for stability.
Show them the money.
Show me the money. So there is money out there to pay for the increase, like he said, adding that the lift would not be crazy or stressful or drastic to UPS. And he's right, because there is precedent for significant wage increases. Railroad workers got a 24% increase. Unions and FedEx reached a deal for a 30% pay raise. Now, that's a 30% pay raise, and a one-time hero bonus over at the port workers for the West Coast. That's great. We were working basically Christmas hours for 2 years straight, which is terrible. But they get what they pay for, said UPS. Adding that company delivery drivers who make about $150,000 annually, including base pay and benefits for overtime, earn it. Yeah, and they earn it with their bodies too. It's not just about the money. It's about their physical health. It's about the amount of time they have to spend in those hot boxes, which maybe finally, hopefully, might get air conditioning sometime in the future, maybe. They say.
Well, there's a documentary done. I want to say documentary. It was a video done about those particular trucks and how it's a problem. The entire truck's a problem because it's like the U.S. mail system ordered them like a long time ago, and they're still in service, and like they don't compensate for the heat and like of any component, like let alone the box of metal that it is.
Yeah,
like. So terrible. Everything's failing. They're falling apart. Infrastructure's dying.
Terrible.
And who's taking whose blood's paying for that? Ours. So
we're paying for it in blood.
But that's what Brown can do for you. So
that's funny. What can Brown do for you? That's our thumbnail for this segment, by the way. I forgot to put it up early. Shout out to the Mad Crab for going over my shoddy work and then fixing it and making it a whole lot purtier. So thank you, sir, for that. Okay, so let me go to our next thing, which is out of, and that was, by the way, out of our friends out of Left Voice. And I think I dropped that Left Voice is an Indie Media Award honoree. Hey, we created an award to showcase and honor, thank you, sir, to showcase and honor some of these great outlets and content creators and writers and journalists and live streamers. I know that Jimmy Dore hates the word live streamers, YouTubers, podcasters. I don't know what the hell you want to call us all, but we make a ton of stuff, and I just feel like podcaster is just inferior because we make clips and do all kinds of other stuff too. But anyway, so that was out of Left Voice. Our next story is about the Writers Guild strike, and now the fact that the actors, the SAG-AFTRA, is now looking at potentially joining the writers. So that's an interesting twist. We've already seen some of that, like Snoop Dogg, for example. I know canceled the show because he wanted to be in solidarity with the writers, and he didn't want it was Netflix or somebody making any money while he was he certainly didn't want to hire scabs to do that. So this was at a Socialist Alternative. Zoe Cedeno. All right, we'll throw a little Spanish flair to it. God, only 631 views on this, which is so sad. Actors Guild authorizes a strike alongside the writers. So this is great, right? Unions to fight together against the studios if no deal is reached by the end of June. So they've given a deadline. You got 5.5 days to get this thing worked out, guys. Not even. You got 5 days and an hour and 40 minutes at this point. So WGA been on strike since May 3rd. As we know, the picketers at the entrances of Paramount, Warner Brothers, Netflix, Amazon, other major studios 5 days a week. Though writers are facing the numerous hardships that come with such long fights, they're sharply aware of the stakes in this contract battle. So there's a really well-written article. Studios are now moving to divide film and TV workers. But on June 5th, SAG-AFTRA members voted to authorize a strike. Over 97% of voters, just like UPS, were in favor of strike authorization with a turnout of 48%. That's pretty good, that's nearly double the typical turnout.
What about the 10%?
What about the 10%? So support for a strike among the 160,000 union performers not only represents broad support for the writers, but also comes from studio practice, of course, that have made it a living, made earning a living as a performer increasingly difficult. Actors like writers face diminishing revenue, residuals, and long stretches of unemployment, and the use of AI to devalue their labor, right? That's what's happening. Voice actresses as well, voice actors and actresses, I know of some that's happening too. So their refusal to budge on issues with the Writers Guild has taught SAG members that the only way to get what they need is to fight collectively. So now they all are, and I love seeing this. All right, a banner called Screenwriters Everywhere, made of writers' guilds and unions, has organized solidarity events in multiple countries for June 14th. All right, potential SAG thing, again, 160,000. I think
the only writer that's not striking, I think, is Stephen King. He's still writing comedy for the news. So,
Well, he's certainly writing the narrative on Ukraine, it seems.
Yeah.
But it's evident that the DGA, that is the Directors Guild of Association, the day after SAG authorized the strike, they announced that they had negotiated a tentative agreement with it was the AMP, the AMPTP. That's like the theater guild or whatever, the people who put the money that pay. But it's evident that the DJ has only secured these concessions because WGA is on strike. SAG is threatening to do the same. So it's like they're really afraid that if Directors Guild goes out too, well, they might as well
strikes.
Right, they might as well make a deal with Directors Guild. But if the actors go out too, the film and TV workers need the unions. Well, yes, need studio unions. This is that. The internal logic of film and TV unions means many creative laborers belong to multiple unions. For example, some SAG members belong to WGA. Some DGA members also belong to the WGA, working as writers and directors on projects. While this highlights the immense creative capacity of writers, performers, or directors, it means the different duties fulfilled by a single worker are represented by different unions, which is tricky, right? But this has been the source of ambiguity, yeah. All right. During the strike, for instance, technically writer-directors are on strike as writers, but are contractually obligated to continue working as directors. And this division of labor, of course, is artificial. Writer-directors, writer-producers, and writer-actors often need to employ all their skills and experience to do their jobs. Like, how do you just be a director? I guess you can, but not if you wrote the thing originally. Like, you need to adjust a word or adjust a thing. Like, okay. So they've asked writer-producers to fulfill their non-writing obligations on set with strict guidelines. So they do have an idea of what they want to do. Now, here's what Socialist Alternative calls for. No deal without a collective deal, which solidarity. SAG members, DGA members must vote no on any tentative agreement until all three unions get the deal they need. This is the best way to ensure the strongest terms for all three unions. And fully shut down production. Yeah, shut her down. SAG needs to start preparing their membership for a strike, including the large portion of SAG members who didn't vote. The full power of both unions will only be brought to bear if the membership is mobilized and withholding their labor collectively. Can't have any scabs within the union. No more mini rooms. That's something that's happening. That's studios.
Or mini bars.
Well, more mini bars. Yeah, studios need to employ
bars only.
a full staff of writers as determined by the writers themselves. I don't know how they make that determination and if there's a budget versus the number of writer. I don't know, but living wages year round. No more depending on seasonal work. Contracts should include off-season stipends to ensure workers can afford to live all year. And they would say that workers need to budget their salaries and their lives better because they're capitalists and they're also starving the workers. But you can see some of the writers here. I put on our thumbnail. It was Fran Drescher. She's the head of I think she's the head of SAG-AFTRA right now. She's one of the union heads. The nanny, yes, that Fran Drescher. So, solidarity, of course, with the writers. I appreciate that the actors are also seeing the potential in what a strike can do for them. What can Brown do for you? What can strikes do for you? What can withholding your labor do for you? So, again, shout out to Socialist Alternative.
Call him Mini Room.
Right? Mini Room.
That's Mastermind Hour in the chat.
Oh, well, now I can put that up because we're on this one. We can do that here. Mini Room. You have that. There was also, as I was searching, and all I did, I wanted to search for some other strikes that were out there. There are a couple of decent websites that you can just kind of Google and say current active worker strikes. Because if you just search strike, there's strike a match, there's bowling strikes, there's all kinds of different strikes. But one of these images that I happened upon as I'm looking for some content and for the thumbnail was I found this, and that's Spirit Aerosystems is another company that had a strike action where workers at the facility in 28 years who have not gone on strike, right? They are going on strike after rejecting their contract. They build aerospace stuff and aero systems, right? In Wichita, Kansas.
Is it like Spirit Airlines?
No, it's not Spirit Airlines. It's Spirit Aerosystems. So they're going to go on strike after rejecting
to Wichita.
A final. Well, my friend who lives there calls it Wichititty, which is kind of funny. But
yeah.
How old is that? Well, as old as I am, because he and I are the same age. But thousands of workers at Spirit Aerosystems in Wichita who rejected the contract 79-21, with 85% voting to initiate a strike. So it'll begin Saturday after the current contract expires. During the work stoppage, workers will not receive pay or benefits from Spirit. So they're going to lose their health care. They're going to suspend factory production on Thursday prior to the expiration of the current contract. That's nice. They also asked employees in the union not to report for any scheduled shifts for the rest of the week. They still will receive scheduled pay. They will receive pay for their scheduled hours. but employees not in the union will be allowed to report to work. So they have some non-union employees. This is what they're looking for over the 4-year contract is what they consider a 34% increase, which is 7, 8, 10% year over year between wage increases, cost of living adjustments, and guaranteed annual bonuses. None of this is really unreasonable. But of course, Spirit's offer included ending mandatory overtime on Sundays. But of course, they are scheduled to work overtime on other days. They would have had to use earned time off. It's a whole, it gets pretty granular. I'll put this in the description. But this was another one that Spirit said it plans to continue meeting with machinist leadership, which is good. Workers at the facility last went on strike in 1995 when it was still owned by Boeing. That's incredible. And here's more details about the proposed contract, which you can read right there. All right, current contract did expire on Saturday, right, on June 23rd. Production operations will remain suspended until they can reach an agreement. While we're disappointed with the outcome of the first vote, despite the endorsement, we will continue to work with the representatives. That's nice of Spirits to say so. So that's most of our labor stuff. And that's all good stuff because that's people like realizing that management isn't giving them anything until they decide to withhold their labor for a better deal. And then management will have to decide, will it cost us more to replace these people to deal with the legal actions that come with stonewalling them? Or do we just pay them the extra couple of bucks a fucking hour so that they can live, or give them the time schedules that they need so that they can work with their families better and everybody can attend events and know what's going to happen, because these schedules being extended is difficult on everyone. So the last thing, and I know that my brother Angel Rivera from INN, who I believe is also here in the chat, he had some things to say about this, and I didn't include his tweet. I'm very sorry I didn't, because he had kind of the counter to this. Team Orca, Team White Gladys. We are definitely Team Orca here. So I'm sure you likely have heard about the Starbucks strikes, or maybe you haven't, but Starbucks, Workers United, 150 stores now have decided to go on strike. And the reason why is kind of interesting. So let's kind of get into that, because that's where I found it pretty wild. So this is actually from my Twitter that we're going to do this. And I hid the DM so you can't see anything. So it started with the other day, a more perfect union. Starbucks has denied ordering stores to take down pride decorations, but they obtained evidence of an executive ordering more than 100 stores across 3 states to cancel pride celebrations this year. Really? Huh. And we've got some friends in the chat and some friends on Twitter. Now we're going to also, wow. Oh, I didn't even see this. This was earlier today. First Nebraska, which we're going to show you in a second, but now Wyoming. So let's come back to that in a second. So in an internal memo to Starbucks store managers regarding pride decor, the company claims that there's been no change to guidance and the dozens of social media testimonies and videos are misinformation. But perhaps the most interesting claim is just a few lines below. And so this is a short thread from Starbucks Workers United, at SB Workers United.
Yep.
All right. What they said was that last week, news of Starbucks banning pride decorations in many stores exploded online. Starbucks claims that pride decorations haven't been banned, but according to internal documents and store manager testimonies, their own responses have not been consistent. So here's the partner hub, where they're saying that there hasn't been any change to the guidance. Banning, we're deeply concerned with false information about this. There has been no change. And for us, Pride Month is just one of the moments we celebrate our LGBTQIA2 plus partners. It's getting longer. And the community, especially as it relates to inclusive store environments. Right, our company culture and the benefits we offer. The commitments and actions we have continued to take for more than 4 decades have been inspired and informed by partners like you. Very flowery, corporate-y language.
What the fuck is the 2? What's the 2?
I don't know. Maybe somebody can help us out. I'm not going there. All right. So Starbucks gives autonomy to...
I mean, I'm just asking.
Yes, I know. I am too. But I'm not going to go there. Starbucks...
Like, is that non-binary? Is that what the 2 is?
It might be. Or
maybe.
It could... Well, I thought it used to be bi, but that's B. Anyway. Starbucks gives autonomy to local leaders to find ways to celebrate. These leaders are the same ones issuing many of the pride bans, which... That's not a way to celebrate. More Perfect Union reports that higher-ups ban decorations in more than 100 stores across 3 states, right? So we saw that before. Instead of simply apologizing and fixing the issue, Starbucks doubled down on the message and gaslit workers, managers, and the public, which is why we need a union contract. So we have clear policies in writing that protect our rights and our voices in the workplace. And you had Starbucks workers from the tri-state area where I live are on strike today. Solidarity with them. They were picketing at Astor Place Starbucks. And then you had, so here it is, first Nebraska, now Wyoming, and here we go. Nebraska has entered the chat. Nebraska has entered the chat. This is kind of taking off, folks.
Yep.
So 26th in Kensington, in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's not Omaha because that's where Warren Buffett lives, right? But a true partnership between partners and Starbucks would create an environment where we all work together towards blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read the letter, but all the partners of Kensington Drive and those in support who wish to remain anonymous in fear of retaliation. And that's sad. That they need to do that. But now today, first Nebraska, now Wyoming, a big welcome to the 21st and Central store in Cheyenne, the first Starbucks store to file for a union election in the equality state. Our movement is growing and there is no slowdown in sight. What we still need is a first contract. So you've got New York City there. There were others as well. Wow, look at by the way, RFK shredded. If you haven't seen this video of this dude, probably the most jacked presidential candidate we've ever had.
Those Onnit products he got,
bro.
Those Onnit products he got right after coming off Joe Rogan are going well, man.
Dude.
He got on that Joe Rogan testosterone.
My man is on the juice. Definitely on the JUICE juice. All right, something ain't.
It doesn't even need to be.
Ain't super kosher there.
He's got that. Right. He's got that rich fitness money, you know.
So it's kind of interesting that this is the thing that triggers all of the Starbucks workers into action to say, "Hey, no more." And it's not the first time, but it's one of the first times that I've seen this kind of across the board type of solidarity from Starbucks workers. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see them push back against corporate. I wish it were for something more substantial, although it is substantial. You know, Pride Month is important to a lot of people, and I understand that. I understand that a lot of Starbucks baristas themselves celebrate that and want to openly celebrate that, and I celebrate that. And I have no problem with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Going back to the Seinfeld episode. Do you have that Seinfeld soundbite yet? Damn it, you need to get that. So
I could get it.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. But, you know, I don't even know kind of where to go. You know, I just want to see workers get more rights against corporate. I'd rather them get better pay. But if they feel like this is unequal treatment and this is impacting their ability to do their work as well as possible because it is messing with their heads that their company doesn't give a crap about them, well, that's fair and valid. And I totally respect that. I wish that we were asking for more workplace concessions in our walkouts. I wish that we were asking for more, period. You know, whether that is money, whether that is upgraded workplaces, whether that, I mean, they're asking for a first contract, and that is the end all be all of what they need. In that way. Yeah. But in the meantime, on the way to a first contract, you can also ask for more and settle on just having the Pride gear restored, potentially. And what's going on in this window over here? I just noticed that. Ah! Right?
Little spooky boy.
Little spooky boy. What's up with that? All right, so...
You just try to get to spookums.
Ah! All right. Wow, 40 people watching. I love this.
What is it,
all
the
right.
Scream?
By the way, we do have a Rockfin channel and a Rumble channel, although we know that there's nothing but fake views over there, fake views. We're even on Telegram and Twitch. We're actually all over, like I said early on, but everybody likes to watch on YouTube, so I'm going to go with it. So, hi, YouTube. What up? This is good stuff.
You are fake news.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm starting to see that not enough people want to go there, and it makes me sad because I've spent a lot of time investing in, putting content up there to make it free and ad-free. By the way, did you know Rockfin is ad-free? There are no ads. If you are not a YouTube premium member and you are suffering through ads, you can watch all of our content completely ad-free, completely for free, without paying a dime on rockfin.com/INDLeftNews and on rockfin.com/INN. Both channels completely free.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. So.
You're welcome.
Okay. Colin loves that sound bit. All right, so
I know.
Our next story.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, come on, don't have Bill screaming and cursing on my air here. So our next story is about states failing.
And thing sucks.
Yeah, states failing citizens, and we've got a handful of. This is the depressing part of the show. I'm going to warn you right now. But they're important stories that, because of the hubbub, and somebody said to me, "Hey, you're going to cover Prigozhin and Russia?" Well, I think that's pretty well covered, and I think that in a way, at that point,
people got that.
It's a distraction. So what's happening?
Obviously,
Who was a madman?
I kept saying that sound bit is in my head. Jamal Bowman, you son of the bitch. All right, but these articles, 3 articles, were in Truthout. One of them from another. Truthout is an obviously Indie Media Award honoree, and we love those guys. Sometimes they can be a little hit or miss. They are doing a massive fundraising drive right now, and you'll see that when I put this up on screen now. They must raise $37,000 in the next 4 days. They've been sounding the alarm,
asking for your financial support.
Yes, Bernie certainly would want them to be around as well. They were big advocates for his campaign, but here's where we live in dark dystopian times, folks. Now, this was written by the KFF Health News, which is the Kaiser Foundation, but it's not connected to Kaiser Permanente Healthcare, because I dug deep into this to figure out, is this like a health insurance company effectively putting out propaganda? But no, it's actually kind of the opposite. It's a watchdog agency inside Kaiser that's designed and there to hold the rest of the company accountable in a way. So we'll get 5% of the crap that they're doing, but I'll take it. But this is, wow. I read this and I was like, holy shit, we have to cover this because I didn't see this anywhere else. And this show is called, How Did We Miss That? So, California. Yeah, thank you. California schools are being urged to create heat plans on a warming planet. Well,
yep.
A new policy brief offers a series of recommendations on how schools can become more heat resilient. And it's kind of funny because my kids' schools don't have air conditioning. And I don't live in a heat state necessarily. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in New Jersey. And when it goes above 93 or 94 degrees, might even be above 90, they actually close schools early and send my kids home early, which is a huge disruption on parents and workplaces and all kinds of other situations, arrangements, and it's a pain in the ass. So you could see there at
Milk was a terrible choice.
Yes, it was. Milk was a bad choice. The Anza Magnet School had 114 degree temperature there. And that was, of course, Getty Images, and everyone has to pay a ton of money to put Getty Images up. Please don't take my stream down, Getty. Okay. So as hot days become more extremely common, this was written again by the Kaiser lady. As hot days become more extremely common, a California education researcher, the California education researchers are urging that school districts be required to develop heat plans to keep students safe, just as they have policies for severe storms and active shooters. Jesus. Policy brief published last month by the UCLA Luskin Center for Innovation. That is a complete front for I don't even know what. But they offer a series of recommendations on how education and building codes can help schools become more heat resilient in the face of global climate change. I don't want to say warming, but State Senator Caroline Menjivar, who is a Democrat, of course, introduced legislation in this year requiring schools to have heat plans by 2027. And another bill would make it easier for schools to create more shaded spaces. That's really important. So,
safe shaded spaces.
Safe
spaces.
Shaded safe. A safe space for all.
Spaces
Obviously,
for safe shade. Safe shade. Sorry.
The California Education Board wasn't set up to think about climate change, but now that climate change is a reality, virtually every sector is going to have to think about it. Yes. Center's recommendations include steps such as setting an indoor temperature limit, documenting the air conditioning and shade infrastructure of each school, and investing in shade and greenery for play areas. And the brief also calls out areas needing more research, such as the safest indoor temperature range.
Desert Mantis in chat said there's enough shady places in California.
Well, no, there's a lot of shady people. There's not a lot of shady places.
Well, the places filled with shady people, I would say, are shady. So therefore,
well, like they say here,
places.
The best way to keep kids cool is perhaps the most obvious, which is providing shade, which can reduce the heat stress experience throughout the day by 25 to 35%. Except when it's 114 degrees.
Like, what were those?
Shade doesn't help. Shade doesn't help 114 degrees.
Do you remember? Hold on. Do you remember the little bus stop shade thing that was a meme not that long ago? The like slightly curved blue mesh thing,
right?
With like a little light, like a little solar light on it or whatever.
Yep.
It's attached to a pole that cost how much? It was like some crazy price on that.
Some stupid number, right? But it requires reconfiguring playgrounds to make them cooler. Okay, and that's a pediatrician and environmental researcher at Mount Sinai in New York City. Definitely very qualified to talk about California schools and how they need to rearrange their playgrounds. In addition to shade, swapping heat-absorbing materials like asphalt and rubber for grass and wood chips. Hey, lady, Perry Sheffield, I don't know if you're a lady or a dude, but I'm guessing a dude. But hey, Perry Sheffield, they've got a bit of a water problem out in California. So adding more grass and adding more trees to an area where they don't have water, kind of a problem. Now, canopy shades and fans and water, mist machines and that type of stuff, better. Definitely, there are ways to do this. What?
Oh, just, that uses water too. But
but not nearly the amount of water that anything else that they're doing uses. It's a big savings.
Native shade plants, large cacti, and the like.
Sure. So The more we can encourage play as well as physical activity, the healthier our kids are going to be. So figuring out a way to do that safely is really key. Yes, we also need the fuckers to go outside. I spent all weekend with my kids. We need them outside. They need to be playing outside. On a
but
playground.
That's where the cancer-causing sun is at.
That's why they said we need to have shade provided, and we need to keep them fucking hydrated at 114 degrees. But the little buggers need to be outside.
Just lather them in sunscreen.
That's right. They need to be in non-toxic cancer-causing sunscreen.
Remember,
but yes, what?
Do you remember Gak from Nickelodeon? Do you remember that?
No, I'm too old for that.
Like the slime and Gak. Okay. Well, you need to just make like a waterfall of sun lotion outside your door for your kids to run through on their way out the door.
So they get slimed like Double Dare.
Right, yeah.
Double Dare sliming.
Exactly.
I'm old enough to know Double Dare. Okay. Yeah. So of course they want to encourage outdoor play, which we do too, and keep the little buggers outside, like I said. But at the same time, canopy, safety, hydration. On a playground in the San Fernando Valley, she once measured 145-degree asphalt and 162-degree rubber. Hot enough to cause a third-degree burn in seconds. Christ. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, hot water can burn in less than 20 seconds. I remember there was a famous Warner Brothers Tweety Bird and Sylvester.
Let me show you something.
162-degree rubber. Can you imagine your kid going and climbing on 162-degree rubber and coming home with third-degree fucking burns? This is literally a Fire Marshal Bill sketch.
Let me tell you something. That's what this is. Let me show you something. Did you know?
Third-degree burns. California already has millions of dollars of grant funding available for greening schoolyards and increasing tree canopy, such as the urban and community forestry grants through the Cal Fire that set a goal to shade at least 30% of school campuses. Yeah. To help schools and make best use of funding for extra trees, Turner and her grad student, Morgan Rogers, are modeling how increasing the tree canopy to 30% can affect heat stress. They'll compare different tree configurations like dispersed or clustered and hope to issue recommendations this fall. That's nice. Legislators in Sacramento are also looking at amending state building codes to make it easier for schools to install shade structures. Currently, the rules require that an additional 20% of the budget be spent on any new construction or renovation to make an accessible path to the completed project. Okay. The bill would add an exception for freestanding shade structures. Well, that's good. Schools would still be required to meet accessibility requirements, but installing a shade structure wouldn't trigger additional construction. That's what we're asking, not to be exempted for those. Well, look, we just put up some big umbrellas where we are. Instead, we were talking about putting an awning or like some kind of permanent structure, and in the end, we just got some
sail.
Some massive umbrellas that were like a couple of $100 for our HOA, and boom, we're good. We got huge swath of shaded area, but shade only does so much. But they were excited to see new UCLA research. Yeah, eggheads usually are excited to see new research. Heat plans are going to be completed until 2025. Implementation in 27. Our kids are suffering right now. They need help now. They're baking in these schools right now. Program is working with 35 schools and community centers in Phoenix also. That's also bad. Schools outside California are also reckoning with the heat. Researchers at Arizona State partnered with public health experts and school leaders last spring to develop guidelines for heat-ready schools. Why have we not been doing this for 30 years?
Yeah.
Like, we've had 100+ days in Death Valley, San Fernando Valley for decades. And we knew this was coming, and we still have had no plan. It's like beyond head exploding kind of shit. right? Preparing for the warming climate is front of mind, or top of mind, which is my least favorite corporate phrase ever, top of mind. It doesn't even make sense. For Principal Brad Rumble at Esperanza Elementary School in Los Angeles, the school's heat resilience efforts started with filling empty tree wells in front of the campus in 2014, and now the school boasts a shaded courtyard and a native plant garden. It takes years to grow trees like that, right? Courtesy of a grant from the district.
Yeah, but they're... Yes.
It helps.
No, you're good.
It sure does.
1 year ago.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes. And donate to help them raise their 37,000.
Roe v. Wade. That they didn't... That Democrats could have codified at any time. And didn't.
Yeah. KFF... Well, yeah, but somebody has to report on the fact that Democrats didn't do it either. KFF Health News is a national newsroom that produces in-depth journalism about health issues and is one of the core operating programs at KFF, an independent source of health policy research, polling, and journalism. And the Kaiser Foundation is a nonprofit. It is funded, I believe, mostly by the Kaiser family. That is the KFF, it's Kaiser Family Foundation. Similar to, like, you know, the Ford, but it's not a CIA front, and it's not a health insurance company, though the health insurance company funds it. These people are not beholden to anything in the insurance company, and there's total disconnect, according to everything that I've read. And I tried to dig to see if there was corruption here. There's not, at least that I can find.
Kaiser Permanente teaching nurses heat stroke is going to happen more at 11.
Right. So the next story in our 3 is about, I couldn't believe this one. Governor Greg Abbott. Dude doesn't have to do any hard labor and never has. I don't believe he is in wheelchair bound. Solidarity with our disabled brothers and sisters, but this is ridiculous, as the governor signs a bill axing construction workers' water breaks amid record heat. Thanks. Texas is already the worst state in the country for work-related heat deaths, and this is from, again, Truthout and Sharon Zhang. That would be a double in the media award honoree article, because Sharon is an honoree herself separately from Truthout. Thank you. So that we've got our construction workers sitting there. And again, there's our
1 year ago.
Yes. Right. So, and of course, Truthout is a little shit-libby, and I'll be the first to admit that, though they are honorees. Far right, Governor Greg Abbott. That was unnecessary. We know that most Republican governors in Texas are far right. Thanks for that. He signed a bill last week that nullifies local laws mandating water and heat breaks for construction workers, as well as work-related heat deaths as work-related heat deaths in the state are rising and temperatures are hitting record highs. The provision is part of the bill so-called the quote-unquote Death Star bill by its opponents, which nullifies a host of local regulations that enact additional protections for workers, among other things. That's nice. The part addressing construction workers would bar cities and counties from passing new regulations and overturns current regulations that mandate water breaks for certain workers. I need a Jimmy going, what the F and F? Are you kidding me? Like, that's what this is.
What?
Come on, man.
The F and F? Are you kidding me?
Cities like Austin and Dallas have laws ensuring that construction workers are provided a 10-minute break every 4 hours to drink water and get out of the sun. This bill would overturn that requirement. Why? The law comes as heat-related deaths at work are expected to worsen due to the climate crisis. Indeed, in the days following the bill's signing by Abbott, a record heat wave hit large swaths of the state, threatening the state's power grid. In some places, the heat index topped 120 degrees. So I'm guessing that Texas at some point will catch up to California and also start putting heat plans in place for their schools.
Ooh, we gonna put some heat trees So we got our own spaces for safe shade.
Right. So other places broke heat records.
Ours are gonna be bigger.
Austin, shout out to Joe Rogan and Tom Segura. Austin set an all-time record for heat. Segura set an all-time record for heat in the month of June, while Junction, west of Austin, hit its all-time high of 110 degrees. Texas is already the worst state in the country for worker deaths due to high heat, according to the Texas Tribune, which is totally gone shit, Libby, by the way. They used to be awesome. And then their editor left. They brought in a new editor, and it just went to the dogs, and I don't even quote them anymore. But according to them, at least 42 workers died from heat exposure in the state between 2011 and 2021, BLS shows. Not BLM, but Bureau of Labor Statistics. And workers say this doesn't encompass all heat-related deaths, since they're often attributed to something other than the heat. Yeah, it's probably like stroke or heart attack or dehydration often. And this is what OSHA is saying. Heat-related deaths will certainly rise as a consequence of the new law, unions have said. OSHA recommends outdoor workers drink 8 ounces of water every 20 minutes when working in the heat to prevent heat-related illness. Well, they're certainly not going to get the time to do that now, are they?
Nope.
So, Ana Gonzalez, the Texas AFL-CIO Deputy Director of Policy and Politics, told the Texas Tribune, quote, "Construction is a deadly industry. Whatever the minimum protection is, it can save a life. We're talking about a human right. We will see more deaths, especially in Texas's high temperatures." So, as conditions rapidly worsen due to the climate crisis and a result of declining standards for outdoor laborers, advocates have long said that climate justice is worker justice. Yes. Think about like the people in the fields that are actually like picking stuff. Mild summer temperatures are becoming more and more scarce. The state is expected to be 3 degrees warmer and on average by 2036 than it used to be in the 1950s. This is going to lead to a doubling in the number of 100-degree days by 2036 compared to the last 2 decades or so. Jesus Christ. So current heat waves are already straining the state's electrical grid. If the grid fails at any point, that would create even further issues for workers seeking a reprieve from the heat, and also impact a lot more workers that are currently not suffering from any of that. Put the entire town, city, state into it. So again, this is about their 1 year ago. So they're
1 year ago.
There's our friend. There's our friend Sharon. Support her. Support Truthout. She also has written stories for Pacific Standard and New Republic, but she basically exclusively writes for Truthout. She's great, really good on labor. She occasionally has a stink. You know, everyone has an occasional stinker. We do too, but I tremendously respect her work and use her as one of the guides and sources that I trust to give me a perspective and a base as to where we probably should be close to, if not slightly adjusted off of. But she's usually pretty close to the mark.
These people.
Well, was that Jerry? Jerry, come on.
No.
Who are these
Mark
people?
Norman.
I do that every time, don't I? All right. So we have got, oh my God, 2 parts of this story left, and it ain't getting any better, folks, because we're failing our elders. And this was another exclusive by Eleanor Bader. People over 50 who now account for approximately half of the unhoused population in the United States.
Yeah.
Seniors are a growing portion of unhoused. And I personally have had some pretty close experience with this. Became friends with somebody on Facebook, and she is currently looking for housing as a senior and has gone through all kinds of trials and tribulations. And according to this, since January 22, nearly 25,000 households have been denied their right to counsel in housing court and left to face their eviction alone. Right, and that was in Brooklyn. But yeah, this is not a fun story, and I'm not going to go into this super long one, but just to say How bad is it that people over age 50 currently comprise approximately 50% of the unhoused population, which is up from 37% in just 20 years and 11% in 40 years? I mean, we are really failing our people. You know, the number of homeless people over age 65 will triple by 2030 in major U.S. cities like Boston, L.A., and New York. You know, there are reasons for this, which is skyrocketing rents, and record profits, the end of the COVID eviction moratorium, ageism, a weak social safety net, an insufficient supply of affordable housing, and soaring medical debt. Yeah, while they keep building $1 million mini mansions. Yep. You know, and then there's our overall economic system, which they're using housing the same way mining companies have used the earth, and are attempting to extract wealth from our communities, just as there are environmental impacts from strip mining, there are environmental impacts from wealth mining. You know, many shelters don't allow pets. For many vulnerable people, animals are their only family. In addition, receiving Section 8 subsidies are bound by stiff regulations promulgated by HUD that bar them from taking in an aging relative. In fact, guidelines stipulate that a guest, no matter if it's mom, dad, a grandparent, family, or elder, can stay with a prime tenant for no more than 21 days in a calendar year. Violation can lead to eviction. And one of our INN members, I know for sure, lives in state Section 8 housing. He can say who he is, but we deal with this type of stuff.
Yep.
So, you know, family support doesn't hurt elders. So, you know, it says if you've worked a minimum wage job your whole life, you likely don't have much saved to keep working into your 70s or 80s, or even, you know, to stay in your home. Great. You know, people typically don't want to be a burden to their families, especially if they have health issues and they feel humiliated when they end up on their grandchild's couch. So they end up homeless, houseless, on the streets. And people who are doubled up are also not considered homeless by HUD because they don't meet HUD's definition of homelessness. Moreover, that's great. She says people tend to romanticize the idea of a multi-generational home because it's not always something poor people in overcrowded apartments can even do. They don't have a financial cushion. One thread gets pulled and everything unravels. And it's terrible. You know, capitalism is killing us all. The average Social Security.
I just have that She's Homeless song stuck in my head now. You know?
Nice.
Da-dee-dee, da-dee-do, da-dee-dee.
Wow. The average 2023 retirement benefit for Social Security is $1,834.80 per month. The average monthly disability is just under $1,500 per month. That's not even enough to cover rent, let alone food and everything else that you need to live, including health insurance, which costs as much, if not more, than rent in most cases. And of course, all of these houseless people are, of course, not buying health insurance because you need an address to register your health insurance. Disabled and elderly people who did not...
Houseless people?
Yes. Unhoused.
That's like a George Carlin bit, right?
No,
like,
that was a George...
Houseless people now.
Well, no, wait a minute. It's just the opposite because they said, It's not homeless. They don't need homes. They need houses. They're houseless. That's exactly what he said. They don't need homes. They need houses.
It's like...
Right, yeah. They are unhoused, and that is incredibly sad. But disabled and elderly people who did not work the required 40 quarters long enough to qualify can apply for supplemental Social Security, supplemental security income, or SSI, but the maximum monthly benefit for a single person is only $934, or elderly couples can receive a monthly grant of $1,391, which again isn't going to cover your even, you know, subsidized or rent-controlled rent in most cases. There you go. For many people, this is less than their monthly rent. As of May 2023, Rent.com reports the national median rent is now $1,967. More incendiary that rents have risen 16.33% since 2021. Thank you, BlackRock. Thank you to Slava BlackRock, by the way. Reflecting an annual increase of about 8% or more than $250 per year. Right.
I'm sorry, don't talk about my mother like that.
Poverty rate for people over 65 went from 8.9% in 2020 to 10.3% in 21. And while 2022's 8.7% Social Security cost of living increase helped, it did little to stem the tide of housing loss for seniors. And again, my friend Kate would be able to tell you all about that. And she's had a terrible time of it. I feel awful when I see her on Facebook posting, and it's a reminder of how cruel this country can be to people that have spent their whole lives working, living, and being happy. And this woman, within the span of a year, lost her husband pretty suddenly to a heart attack. Then she lost her dog because she lost her housing. Then because she lost her housing, she lost her dog. And she had to rehome her dog. And then she ended up kind of living on people's couches. And then she got thrown out of her place and she ended up on the street. It's terrible, terrible. And now she's like applied for some kind of public housing, and she's got some kind of more positive situation now. But it's been a tough year for my friend Kate. So she said, so this person says that they've been in their apartment for 20 years. All right. That's a 56-year-old Brooklyn resident, Brett, for example. All right. 2 jobs as a security guard, lost his job, been in his apartment 20 years, live alone, pay $800 a month in rent, which is nothing in Brooklyn. You know, New York is an expensive city, and during the worst of the pandemic, I couldn't pay my bills. I owe my landlord about $5,000, and I'm trying to work out a payment plan and reduce the arrears.
Jesus.
Yep. Trying to get a second job, but my landlord needs to cut me a break and let me pay off when I can. When I can. But the problem is that the landlord has his bills piling up too.
You should have thrown give me a break of that Kit Kat bar at least in there, you know? Like,
I thought you have that. Yeah. Got 2 jobs in 1 toilet, Teamwork is saying. Yes. Paulette, now she's another Brooklyn resident who's also fallen behind on hard times. She's in her 70s. The eviction threats have been active. She pays $9.90 a month during COVID. She had an accident, broke her clavicle, and this had her get behind on her rent. She owed the landlord about $12,000 from 2020 and 21. There was no rent forgiveness, folks, for these people. Who are these people? These are the people that this has been kicking the can down the road. This is the 10%, by the way. You know, Colin always talks about, what about the 10%?
Do you remember? Yes.
These are the 10%
yeah,
right
I do
here.
remember, yes.
All right, the 10%
when Corey
of people...
Bush got to have a sleepover on the Capitol steps.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, so
yep.
I owe the landlord about $12,000 from 2020. Oh, God, yep. That program is now closed. So the Emergency Rental Assistance Program did get them a year's back rent, but that program's now closed. Still owe the landlord a little bit. The rent never stops. That's right. Every month. As Paulie famously said in Goodfellas, fuck you, pay me. That's right. First of the month, fuck you, pay me.
Yep.
Lost your job? Fuck you, pay me.
And the rent
Kid got sick? Fuck you,
too
pay
damn
me.
high.
Yep. Paulette said that due to her immigration status, she can't receive Social Security, so she finds other ways to earn money. I help friends with chores, recycle bottles and cans, get help from the community food pantry, but if I get evicted, no, that can't happen. No, well, unfortunately, it does too often, but many people cannot stave off a marshal or stop an eviction. Karen lost her Carlisle, Pennsylvania home of 43 years in March of 2021 after a neighbor complained about the deteriorating condition of her single-family home. She couldn't even maintain the outdoor grounds, so 6 officers came in with building code officers, and my husband and I were given 2 hours to leave. Yeah, but I'm sure they were given plenty of notices and warnings by the state and by the county beforehand, but At the time, they had 13 cats. The officials condemned the house, had to get special permission each day to go in and feed the animals and remove some personal belongings. She was able to rehouse the cats, and for 6 weeks they stayed in a hotel paid for by family, friends, strangers, who responded to a GoFundMe appeal. That's another thing that GoFundMe is paying for, is not just healthcare expenses, but, elderly expenses that aren't being covered by Social Security and by whatever retirement, pensions, and anything else. Yeah. They begged the borough to help them fix the house and repair the structure. They refused. Her husband died 9 months to the day after they were evicted. Since leaving the hotel, Karen's been staying with one of her 3 children. She's comfortable, but it's been devastating. She went from being in the same place for 4 decades to being on an air mattress in her daughter's living room. It's lovely and it's miserable because this is not my home. I mean, I'm sorry to bring such like a depressing story here, but this is really what's going on. And we've got millions of people that fall into this situation, and they're being forgotten about, and nobody's talking about this, and not enough people are trying to help them. Each January, Olivia, this woman says that HUD does a point-in-time count on one night to identify folks who are in shelters on the streets. That's nice. That's one night out of 30 or 31 a month. People who fly under the radar, including couch surfers like Karen, result in severe undercount. In addition, she says that the count only divides people into 3 categories: under 18, again, children on the street, those 18 to 24, and those over 24. And we want HUD to break the numbers into even smaller age categories. Their longitudinal studies do this, but they're not up to date. Their most recent is from 19 to 20, which is pre-pandemic. And we know how many evictions happened in and after the pandemic. So this leaves advocates and activists with little concrete data to go on. And I think that that's also part of the plan of BlackRock and Vanguard and all these major hedge funds, KKR, what's his name? Kravis, Cole, Kraft, and Reigns, I think it is. But anyway,
Blumenstein and Rubenthal.
Right, other way around. Blumenthal and Rubenstein, attorneys at law. Dun, dun, dun.
No, I did it. I did it right. I did it right.
I know you did. This lead, like they said, we know anecdotally that people are aging in homelessness, and we're seeing a lot more people over age 50 enter the system for the first time. Shelter providers tell us family members are literally dropping their loved ones off when they can't take care of them anymore.
Man, it's fucked.
Most shelters are ill-equipped and workers are burned out. They leave to take jobs at places like Home Depot, where they'll make more money and feel less stress. We're not keeping up with the need. And furthermore, because they're not like being paid like healthcare workers, and those are healthcare workers. Elderly care is healthcare. Rents rising fast. People on fixed incomes can't keep up. Like, we need some kind of...
And don't get started on mental care either. But,
senior, but we need like
whatever.
some kind of a housing Section 8 type of safety net specifically designed for seniors so that they don't need to worry about going homeless. I mean, look at that. Creating special housing for seniors. Here. So this is Lisa Glow. She's the CEO of Central Arizona Shelter Services in Phoenix. This is a 600-bed congregate care facility and provides beds for people of all ages, but staff are currently renovating a hotel that will be tailored exclusively to people over 55. It'll provide temporary transitional housing, and I know that there's a woman in Oceanside, California that's doing this as well. Glow says that ideally people will be placed in permanent homes within 90 days. But she recognizes that it may take significantly longer, along with 3 meals a day, mental health counseling, and transportation to medical and other appointments. They served over 1,700 people over the age of 62, which is nearly a third of the 6,650 that they served that year, and a 43% jump from 2021. Well, it's great that they're stepping up and they have something to fill the void there. And this woman who's doing this, Lisa, She says the system is broken on so many levels. Hospitals discharge people to CAS where they have nowhere else to go, and we've set aside a percentage of beds for hospital drop-offs. We'll do the same at the hotel when it opens at the end of this year. We provide respite, but we're not a medical facility. We're understaffed and under-resourced and have been for decades, and the droves of seniors who are becoming homeless are perplexing. It are not, because capitalism and hedge funds, and she probably doesn't realize that a lot of the commercial and residential multifamily real estate has been bought up by these hedge funds and large corporations because people aren't paying attention to this shit. Solutions are obvious, she said. We need rent controls and rent increase exemptions for seniors and the disabled. We need to build more affordable housing, and we need to provide low-income people at risk of eviction with a no-cost attorney. We also need a better social safety net to help with medical and mental health concerns. Amen to every single one of those solutions. And we have the resources to do it. We just can't send $150 billion to murder people in Ukraine and to murder Russians. Well, we need the political will.
We'll try, though.
Yep. Well, we need the political will to build housing for low-income seniors, and we need neighbors who welcome affordable housing and poor people into their communities. When there's a hurricane, FEMA rushes in and takes action, but homelessness has been an ongoing hurricane for decades, and there's been very little action to help people. She's eloquent. Now, again, that may be changing. They're starting to make some... We've got Shani Cass, who's an organizer with Hope, which is housing organizers for people empowerment out of Brooklyn. That's a tenant-led group. And I know Reverend Annie Chambers out in Baltimore. She's doing some incredible things for residents in her community. But because they're retired, typically they have time to go to court and attend daytime protests. So that's good. But of course, we've seen cops push seniors out of the way, and we don't want to put seniors in harm's way. And 1 year ago, Truthout. Truthout is trying to raise $37,000 in the next 4 days. They need our help. They need everybody's help to keep going. Truthout is an important publication on the left and to independents. They are fully user-funded. They take no funding from corporations, and they take no advertising either, and that's really important. We need to support our ad-free, anti-corporate publications. There was one more thing to prove that our states are failing. Yeah.
Field of Greens. They're signing up with Field of Greens next year.
Right? Everybody seems to be signing with Field of Greens these days.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to take a breath for a second. I know I've been doing a lot of yapping there. What's your take on how badly we're failing our seniors?
My take, it's bad. Like that's my take.
It's bad.
Like it's real bad, in fact.
It's bad. So don't be bad. So that's our heat plans in California schools. That's our thumbnail for that clip when we do that this week. And then there's our Texas construction workers with the water. Who needs water anyway? Thanks, Governor Abbott.
Water.
And now our final story is Common Dreams. Julia, our friend Julia. And that's not the story that I wanted to show you, but we're going to get to the Supreme Court in a minute. Let's go back to that. Go here and go here. And that is what happened in Montana. Did anybody hear about what happened in Montana? Yes, Common Dreams is a Indie Media Award honoree. Excellent publication. They also, by the way, are doing their mid-year campaign to raise money. It's the end of the quarter coming up, so they have filings and they're looking for donations at commondreams.org. So support them there as well. They are probably top to bottom, my favorite staff. I love Consortium News too. It's 1-2, Common Dreams Consortium News. I can name a lot of the people that write over at Common Dreams, and I probably know more of the staff writers over there. Julia is one of the excellent staff writers. Julia Conley. She's outstanding. Brett Wilkins and Jake Johnson and Andrea Hermanos and Wow. John Quayle. And then I saw that Craig Brown was actually making an appeal for donations. He's one of the founding members. But so train go boom and train go splish splash in Stillwater County, Montana. Segment. Yeah, almost. Well, you know what? You can probably add a trains smashing into something segment because there are a ton of these things happening. But there was a Montana train derailment, which raises fears of similar disasters on proposed Uinta Basin Railway in, I believe, Illinois. So, Julia, I was going to actually pick a corporate media story about this, and then earlier today I saw that Julia had put out a story, and I figured I'd grab that one instead. But a freight train derailment and the collapse of a bridge over the Yellowstone River in Montana on Saturday raised alarm as several cars carrying asphalt and molten sulfur tumbled into the river, prompting officials to take emergency measures and nearby water plants. Yay! The incident also brought to mind for some critics the Biden administration's plan, here we go, to move forward with a railway project along the Colorado River, one that could place the drinking water for 40 million people at risk as trains transport crude oil from eastern Utah's United Basin, it's Utah, not Illinois, to national rail lines. Good idea. The substances solidified quickly once exposed to the cold water in the Yellowstone River on Saturday, and Stillwater County Emergency Services told Chief David Stamey told the New York Times that the solidification could limit the potential harmful effects to the environment. Could, but likely won't. Sulfur, of course, is commonly used as an insecticide, a fungicide, rodenticide, and is often used in fertilizers. Sulfur is not a good thing.
Yep.
As a precaution, well, maybe, but water treatment plant officials in Yellowstone and Stillwater counties temporarily shut down water intake until all the material had flowed past Billings, which lies about an hour's drive east of the derailment site. Authorities also asked residents to conserve water. About 167,000 people live in Yellowstone County, while roughly 9,000 people live in Stillwater. Their Stillwater is about to become contaminated. What?
Yep. The ironic name.
Yes. It's about to become contaminated Stillwater. The freight train was operated by Montana Rail Link.
Don't you think?
Yep. Whose spokesman told the Times that 2 cars were also carrying sodium hydrosulfate, which can cause serious eye damage on exposure. Nice.
And chemical burns and Yep.
So neither of these cars have entered the water, and initial air quality assessments have been performed and confirmed there is no release associated with the 2 cars. 10 cars in total derailed. Montana Rail Link said no one was injured in the accident. Robert Bay, a retired engineering professor at the University of Cal Berkeley, told the AP, narrative managers for corporate establishment, that recent heavy rains may have played a role in the collapse of the bridge. Quote, the high water flow translates to high forces acting directly on the pier and, importantly, on the river bottom. You can have erosion or scour that removes support from the foundation. High forces translate to a likelihood of a structural or foundation failure that could act as a trigger to initiate the accident. That's a nice way of saying that the thing collapsed. All right, the cause of the derailment and collapse are, of course, being investigated. All right, so you've got Ted Zukowski, and so he's talking about this. He tweets that the Uinta Basin Railway will funnel up to 5 trains 2 miles long daily along the Colorado River from Palisade to Granby, thus making this kind of accident more likely in Colorado. Train derails into Montana's Yellowstone. It certainly can be. So for about 100 miles of railroad, it's close enough to the river, take it to the river, that if you're sitting in a raft in the middle of it, you could throw a rock and hit the railroad. That's a good idea. So Democratic Senators Michael Bennett and John Hickenlooper, both heavy corporatists, and Representative Joe Negus, I've never heard of him, all of Colorado, told U.S. Transportation Secretary Mayo Pete in a letter earlier this year. They wrote him a very strongly worded letter urging him to oppose the project. The public-private alliance between United Basin Railway appears to have no plan to mitigate the harm of a potential accident or derailment in Colorado, which could particularly be difficult to address given Colorado's mountainous terrain. You know this shit's going through, right?
No train problems here.
You know this shit's going through. Because Mayo Pete never met a corporate solution that he didn't implement. So in addition to worsening...
How homophobic of you, sir.
How dare you? I need the...
How dare you?
I need that Richard Ojeda sound. How dare you?
How dare you? Best I can do is...
How dare you?
The best I can do.
Well, I'll take that for an environmental disaster here. So in addition to worsening the climate crisis by supporting the increased production of 350,000 barrels of oil per day, the Utah Clean Infrastructure Coalition has said in a fact sheet on the project that the heavy, long oil tanker trains used to transport crude oil pose greater risks of derailment and spills than other freight trains, and an increased risk of fire due to derailment and spilling of the combustible oil. And the only way I'm seeing this is in this article because I'm blocked by this nice man, friend of the show, David Sirota.
He's a nice guy. He's nice.
He's a nice boy. Not so much.
He's nice.
He's an arrogant piece of garbage, and we're not a big fan anymore.
Well, he's nice.
What's sad is I used to have nothing but the utmost heartfelt affection for that man. And he just turned around and peed all over that and everyone else that supported him. So he can fuck off.
He levered it.
Ah, I see what you did there. All right. Now, the county sheriff's office said that it was a great stroke of luck that none of the train cars that were carrying oil that would have polluted the Yellowstone. Was it really?
Yeah.
Did it really not spill at all? Who
did that? Who did that one?
That's Julia.
Good morning, Julia.
Nice. I built you this house and we're gonna go full throttle.
Everything you see behind me, I built everything. Every square inch from crown molding to chair rail to...
People are like, what's happening right now? They have no idea what's going on right now.
I know.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Let's go full throttle.
Full throttle.
So, I hope this video doesn't scare you, but that's how I feel. I just want you to know that.
Oh my God. By the way, we're led by corrupt oligarchs that are completely on the take. And in case you didn't know, and I think most people who follow this show are, but Supremely Corrupt is the name of this segment. And we have a couple of articles that came out this week that call into question the 2 of the 9 Supreme Court justices. Now, a couple of weeks back, we talked about our friend and not so much a friend, Clarence Thomas, and his dealings with billionaire Harlan Crow, the private jet flights that he had been getting, the vacations at exclusive resorts, the university tuition for his nephew or somebody that was living with him that Crow paid for. Well, now we've got Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito with some similar type of corruption. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. So let's go back here for 1 second, and we're gonna go to the Alito story, which is a Jake Johnson from, again, Common Dreams Indie Media Award honoree.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yep. It keeps getting worse. Alito took undisclosed private jet trip with billionaire hedge fund titan. No conflict of interest there. Paul Singer, who then didn't recuse when a case involving Singer's fund reached the high court. No corruption there. So ProPublica reported late Tuesday that U.S. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, as George W. Bush, who nominated him for the Supreme Court, used to call him Alito.
Alito.
Right? So he took an undisclosed private jet flight in Alaska in 2008 with Paul Singer, whose hedge fund repeatedly had business before the High Court in subsequent years. Alito refused to answer questions.
Paul Simon, he's the singer, right?
He is, but he's not a billionaire. But he refused to answer questions for the ProPublica story, opting instead to pen a Wall Street Journal opinion piece, attempting to pre-butt the outlet's contention that his private jet trip with Singer was likely a violation of federal law and requiring Supreme Court justices to disclose most gifts. The conservative justice insisted there was nothing untoward about the private jet flight to Alaska. His stay at a commercial fishing lodge owned by Robin Arkley II, a donor to the right-wing legal movement, or his decision not to disclose them. No problem. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. Alito wrote that he was invited shortly before the fishing trip, without mentioning by whom, and was asked whether I would like to fly there in a seat that, as far as I'm aware, would have otherwise been vacant. Yeah, but was also probably about $15,000. Notably, Alito also had omitted the detail that Leonard Leo, co-chair of the Conservative Federalist Society and a key figure in the decades-long effort to pull the U.S. judiciary to the right, helped organize the Alaska trip. Yeah, that might be slightly relevant information. A. Raymond Randolph, who was a conservative appellate judge, also attended. Look for him to be nominated to the Supreme Court in subsequent decades. Leonard Leo, by the way, has access to a $1.6 billion war chest of money that was left to him by a billionaire in order to fuck up the Supreme Court specifically and to buy off conservative judges. Yes. He literally is among the evil consortium that is running this country into the ground. According to ProPublica, Leo invited Singer to join and asked the hedge fund tycoon if he and Alito could fly on the billionaire's jet. Leo had recently played an important role in the justice's confirmation to the court. Singer and the lodge owner were both major donors to Leo's political groups. What a surprise! Senator Sheldon Whitehouse from Rhode Island, a longtime critic of the Supreme Court's complete lack of binding ethical standards, argued in a series of tweets late Tuesday that Alito's attempted pre-buttal of the ProPublica reporting is riddled with holes. Oh, he just happened to be flying to Alaska, and there just happened to be a private jet going to Alaska with an empty seat, and he just happened to find that out like on some weird billionaire shared ride Uber? Wait, how's that? And would that empty seat trick fly with legislative or executive ethics disclosures? No. How about with the Financial Disclosure Committee? Right, you didn't ask. This just keeps getting worse, the senator added. Right. Did Alito get help from a PR firm? And if so, who paid for that? Right, to write the piece. Ready to get, right? It would, with the infamous Wall Street Journal polluter page. Who paid for that? ProPublica's reporting who authorized the 2022 ruling that overturned Roe v. Wade. So that's one of the reasons why they're pissed at all the Supreme Court judges. So they're looking into every one of their dirty dealings, and they're taking up stuff. Like we said, Clarence Thomas had been taking billionaire-funded trips for decades without disclosing them. So Alito's probably like, dude, look what Clarence Thomas did. They didn't do anything to him. I got one trip with Leonard Leo. Leonard Leo's got my back. And you know what? Even if he were the first disgraced Supreme Court justice to ever be thrown off the bench, he's going to be fine. Taken care of for life financially. It's gross. ProPublica reported Tuesday that Singer has repeatedly asked the Supreme Court to rule in his favor in high-stakes business disputes. The outlet detailed his most prominent example, which is his hedge fund, Elliott Management, best known for making investments that promise handsome returns but could require bruising legal battles. Right? In 2001, Argentina was in a devastating economic depression. Unemployment skyrocketed and deadly riots broke out on the street. Day after Christmas, the government finally went into default, and for Singer, the crisis was an opportunity. A golden opportunity. As other investors fled, his fund purchased Argentine government debt at a steep discount. And I'm sure our friend Lucy would have something to say about this. Within several years, as the economy recovered, most creditors settled with the government and accepted a fraction of what the debt was originally worth. But Singer's fund, which is an arm of Elliott called NML Capital, held out. Soon they were at war. A Midtown Manhattan-based hedge fund trying to impose its will on a sovereign nation thousands of miles away. And it played out in familiar turf. The U.S. courts, he launched an aggressive legal campaign to force Argentina to pay in full, and his personal involvement in the case attracted widespread media attention. In 2007, for the first but not the last time, his fund asked the Supreme Court to intervene. A lower court had stopped him and another fund from seizing Argentine central bank funds held in the U.S. The investors appealed, but that October, the Supreme Court declined to take up the case. Well, if Alito was not, but if Alito was not on the court, would they have declined? Don't know. Actually, I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't know.
And that was before that trip, by the way. The trip was in 2008. This was in 2007. So then he decides to butter him up by taking him on this trip to Alaska. In 2014, the Supreme Court finally agreed to hear a case on the matter, specifically how much protection Argentina could claim, right, as a sovereign nation. And the court ruled in Singer's favor 7-1, with Alito joining the majority. He didn't recuse himself from the case or from any other petitions involving Singer, even though he's flown in his private jet and certainly has had many a conversation with that person. That's exactly what
PETA finds out about the butter.
The definition of conflict of interest. Right, so here's the thing about student debt.
Melted butter.
Singer also has connections to a high-profile Supreme Court fight involving the Biden administration's plan to cancel student debt for many borrowers. Are you hearing me, Colin? If the if the Supreme Court still kills student debt cancellation, nobody can pretend the court has an ounce of legitimacy, Debt Collective tweeted Wednesday. Singer became a billionaire by buying debts for pennies on a dollar and then weaponizing the courts to collect the full amount from the poorest people. Alito must recuse, but of course we know he won't. MSNBC's Mehdi Hassan, throw a shoe at him, and in any just world, in any world in which Dems could do politics, there would be calls tonight for both Alito and Thomas to resign from the Supreme Court, and calls for impeachment if they refuse to do so. But in our real world, they won't even be subpoenaed by the Senate. Which, by the way, is exactly what we said, but Mehdi Hassan is gaslighting. Shout out Jake Johnson. Badass dude. Love that guy. Good for you. Thank you, Jake Johnson.
Yep.
Good article. This is the original picture of Paul Singer and Alito on that fishing trip, by the way. That's Paul Singer. Supreme Court Justice Alito is in the center. And another guest is all they call this guy. Another guest. Yeah, we got big fish.
Another guest.
This was written again June 20th, ProPublica. Give them a shout and a follow, and I will put the link to that in the description. We got one more corruption story on the Supreme Court, and it's Amy Coney Barrett, potentially. Shady and corrupt. And another Julia story. Julia, she built this house for me, Julia. She sold a home to a religious freedom group.
Julia.
Thank you. Hi, Julia. That has filed numerous briefs in cases before the court. Again, you've got impropriety in the fact that justices are involved with people who are putting cases before them to be decided. And this is ridiculous. A Notre Dame professor who had just taken a leadership role at RLI purchased Barrett's private home months after she was sworn in. I mean, every federal judge is bound to an ethics code requiring them to avoid behavior that so much as looks improper, except for Supreme Court justices. Chief Justice Roberts has the power to change that, but so far he hasn't shown the courage. Yep, he's gutless. We know that. All right, we talked about the reported trip with Alito. So now you've got 3 out of 9 Supreme Court justices, all appointed by Republican presidents, by the way, with blatant displays of corruption now. And there's no accountability whatsoever. Although her home sale may not have violated any rules, Indiana University law professor Charles Gay told Accountable.us, and they have all kinds of problems themselves. All right, that it adds.
You really pronounce that EY on that.
Yeah. It adds to the perception problem regarding justices. That's right. You have to pronounce
H.
Yes, you have to the. That's right. It's almost like Hebrew. It's addressed by the court being much more vigilant in guarding against perception problems created by the justices' financial wheelings and dealings, and going the extra mile to make sure they're not only clean but look clean. Well, thank you to and then they'll point to your head of the Democratic Party in the House and say, insider trading says what? And that argument is then over. And I'm spent, as Austin Powers used to like to say. Yes.
Yep.
Let's go check out some chat. What's happening over here? Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Jack's page. Oh, super chat.
Couple of super chats from couple of super chats.
Nice. My Hubs was a yardmaster from Union Pacific in Colorado. They've been running crude oil trains for at least 8 years on that route. Wow. Well, that's a little scary because shit. I see a himbo in the chat there. I see Brad. Everyone. Did you hear about BOFA? Yeah, we know all about BOFA. Keep scrolling up. Keep scrolling up.
Scroll up.
I'm going. Jack's page. It's so fucking sad that this is happening to so many people in the richest country. And you know what, Jack's page, you made the right move. Jack's page, our friend, she got out. She went to Mexico, and it's not all sunshine and daisies in Mexico. I will say, yes, thank you, thank you, Bad Cookies. I love Goodfellas too, but. Mexico, you boys live in Mexico. Woohoo! But I think that overall she's making the right move, and either you need to have a lot of money to live in this country. My mother-in-law says that this country is set up for either the very poor or the very rich, and everybody in between that's struggling to earn a living ends up completely screwed. They don't qualify for services, and they're completely squeezed out from all of the benefits. And of course, capitalism kills them while their bosses dine on, jugs of their piss. Or give them, they dine on caviar while giving them jugs of their piss or something like that. Thank you, Jesse Jet. Eloquent. So, we're going to head off and let's do some boats because we need we got to get rid of this nightmare fuel. All right, everybody, let's go to boats.
Yeah. And I watch mindless shit. Boats that smash into other boats.
That's our Jimmy Dore segment. Not really, but that's what Jimmy likes to watch when he's not streaming or when he's not doing comedy and everything else. Joe Rogan once asked him, what do you like? What do you like doing? And he says, I like to watch mindless shit, like boats that smash into other boats. Is it the Reef Show time? Is it time for Reef Show?
So, yes, it is. Let me go back here.
Thank you.
It's time!
Look what we got in there.
Nice.
Look at his little nuggies.
That's a grinder.
What we got here? So we got a bit of nug in the bottom.
Oh, no! You asshole!
Oh, no.
You asshole!
I'm an asshole. Got a bit of nug in the bottom. That's just everyone's just like, oh, you did it.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Here you go. This one's good. You good? You good? You got everything closed?
I'm good. We're closed.
Hey, I want that one. Oh, boy.
Oh! I've been there. I feel that.
Yep.
I done that.
It just sucked it right to the back of the throat.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh,
Don't clip that.
it burns.
So
It burns so
here's
much.
some Dad Zone. They're playing hide and seek. Let's see if you can find them, boys and girls. I wonder where he is.
Look at the grid.
He's in the Ultraman box.
Is Mommy gonna find me? I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna find me.
I love that little grid. Grid's great.
I don't think she's gonna find him.
You know? That one.
That's the. Is she gonna really find me? Is she really leaving me here on purpose?
Let's see if I can get a refresh. Can I get a refresh?
Action.
All right. We're trying to propose with the kid.
Oh, no. No!
You can't jump, it's too shallow.
No.
Dude.
No.
That's so fucked, isn't it? Like, no.
Oh, that just hurts.
Right. Can I do this and then this? Okay. That's not, whatever. Okay, there we go. I got it.
Where you going? Where you going, the baby? Where you going? What you said? Where you going? Where you going? You put the baby in the trash? Hello, Sharon? Where you put the baby? Where are you gonna put the baby?
Oh my God! No! Hey!
Where it goes.
Wow.
Everybody clean up.
Jesus.
Look, it's a frog.
You don't want to touch him?
Yeah, that's his leg.
She stepped on his ass.
He jumps.
Nice.
He jumpies. This is cute.
Nice. Cuteums. Yep.
Just get a quick little refresh. Full screen.
Do it. Oh.
Strawberry.
This is Dad Zone, by the way, everyone.
Put the strawberry on the spoon.
Yep.
And then strawberry. Oh. And then strawberry on the spoon. And then strawberry. Oh.
God damn it.
Strawberry
Just put
on
it in
the
my
spoon.
mouth. I love that. I love the determination. I love it.
And no.
He's resilient. I love the parrot giggling in the background, too. That's evil.
And strawberry. Yeah. We did it.
Evil.
We did it. Here you go. I found you.
Evil
by the
strawberry?
way. Yes. Here you go. Look at this monkey. Monkey.
Time for bonans. No.
I ain't fucking taking that banana.
Yo.
Fuck off with that banana.
Yo.
You get out of here with that banana.
that is me.
Yeah, just his face.
No bonans.
What you talk about, Willis?
No bonans.
Who do you think I am?
Gross.
Like, very good. What else do I got?
Himbo,
I also
I'm sure
have
there's a
you
video
again.
of
Look.
Biden like that. Nice.
I'm gonna lie down for 5 minutes. Me after 5 minutes.
Me. I don't know. I don't know what that sound is. I deny anything resembling that sound. Don't know what you mean. My man is evil. That's all I can say. My man's evil. Hardcore parkour.
Here you go. Barcore. Oh, nice. Shit. They're at the rug place. I love the rug place.
Nom, 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 nom.
Dude, this is just... They should just sell this for, like, poppers. You know?
Oh,
just a room full of rugs.
They're done fighting and chasing.
Yeah, they're playing.
Fighting. Yeah, I know they're playing.
What the dog doing?
Hmm.
Here we go.
Crazy. Whoa, yeah.
What in the fuck? That's an octopus.
That is an octopus.
Oh my. Oh my.
There he goes.
Oh my.
Over here, this way, boss. Over here. Over here, sir. Over here, the gate's over here. Over here. Yeah, just push him. There he sees it now. He's like, yeah. Come on, dude.
Dude, he sees it? How many eyes an octopus got? Wow, that's awesome.
2.
I have never seen that in my life.
Epic, dude. That's so majestic. I've been coming out here for 20.
That's good eating too.
Dude, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, it's a giant Pacific. That's all over where Jax is at and West Coast.
Damn.
Look, it's a pile of kitty.
Oh.
Pile of kitty meat Roomba. Yeah.
I'm fuck it up.
Bye. Bye, everyone. It's taking me. Save yourselves. Oh, no, it's coming back. We'll never know what happened to the pile of kitty.
Pile of kitty.
What else we got?
That.
Pile of kitty.
Very funny.
Here we go.
Hi, everyone. My name's Gary, over there from the local Raccoon Federation. Just wanted to check in on things here. And whoa, don't worry. Just checking out the water. Yep, there. And you got the cat food. Yes, okay, perfect. So what you can do here, quick little tip for you. Yeah, you take the cat food, right? And you just dip it right in there and just wash your hands in and everything. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so it's really, really easy, simple. Just take the food. Yeah, don't be frugal with it. Yeah, yeah. That's so good. Yeah, you want some of this? Oh, damn. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So I can tell things are getting a little heated here. So I'm just gonna. God damn, that's some good water. Oh yeah. All right. I'll go over here. Ooh, you guys are a couple of crazy little cats over here, aren't you? Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, the one last thing I wanted to show you, quite important actually, is you take a handful of this and suckers. There's no Raccoon Federation.
There's no Raccoon
Federation.
Raccoon
Federation. Well, he's not wrong. There is no raccoon.
Wrong. Well, it might be the classic raccoon double bluff. You know?
Could be.
So, like, what?
Yes, could be in chipmunk voice. I was forced to wear snails. Okay. Good to know. There,
War
Team
snails.
OnlyFins. Hashtag OnlyFins.
OnlyFins.
Nice.
Here we go. There was an attempt to be angry. You want a treat? Nom 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 nom. Now give me my treat.
Oh.
I just love his little temper tantrum when he the treat gets taken away.
Get that back here. Side by side. Okay.
I love that one. Okay. Reddit, can you figure out why the video player stops like 5 seconds at the end of every video? Can you figure that out?
Oh, we know why, but we're not going to answer that. It's because it doesn't like Reef. They don't like Reef.
When playing with an entire group of puppies goes wrong.
Ruh-roh. Look.
Oh, look at all of them.
It's the Peter Piper defense. Isn't that what happened to Hillary Clinton? Nice. They're literally grabbing on his nuts.
Shake the ball. Hey, shake the ball.
Shake the bones. Yeah, draw their attention. No, they found a much more tasty piece of meat. I'm gonna piss myself. Oh, they're really getting his pants down. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
I fucking love that one too.
Razor teeth. That's right.
So
Kill your
good.
egregores. That's right.
I feel like this picture says like a lot. Like I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Drugs were
but,
definitely involved.
We got these boys.
Drugs
we
were
got the
involved.
accordion man. We
I don't
got
know
someone
how to
on
tell you.
keyboards. You know, I feel like this is like the summoning of a demon.
I feel like
You know-
that's. I
you
feel
know
like
what I
he's. I
mean?
feel like he's a one-man band who puts down the accordion and goes to play the keyboard. But that's just me.
And the dance, just the Vogue. They just Vogue. That's what they do.
Sure.
What do you do in the band? I'm lead dancer. Like,
Sure.
This one was good. This has reminded me of like your kids, you know, like. Like, bro, I'm pooping, bro, I'm pooping, bro. Like, what the dog doing?
Why is that
What
dog
the dog
staring?
doing?
Why is that dog staring?
Like, while you're pooping, like, bro, like this is my bathroom time. Can you like give me a minute?
What? That's all I could say.
I left the catnip unattended again, is what this one's called.
Nice.
Look at what. Ready?
Oh,
Oh.
nice, dude. Back feet
Like-
landing. I love it.
I love the little movie, but like,
Dude, that's good shit right there. That's
isn't
good
it?
shit. Yeah,
Like,
I'm down. I'm down.
what about this
Oh,
one? This is
Kit
how you
Kat.
wake up.
At me this morning. As you can see, you've got a beautiful male lion looking through my.
Is he
kitchen window,
growling?
and I just need to get to that kettle to make some coffee. That's all.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh my
The
god!
decision is
Don't move!
that a honeymoon couple in camp.
Oh, murder!
Holy shit!
Dude, you you chill the fuck out. What's he gonna do? Hit him with that thing? Oh my god, he's still there.
Dude, he's just like, I'm just making my tea.
Bad kitty. Yes. Bad cookies. That thing will tear you to pieces in seconds. Yes, it would.
In
My
seconds.
word. That window looks real rickety. Yeah,
Like-
dude. Like he could run right through that wall. Easy. Easy, Karen.
Like, here you go. Here's what they could do.
Oh man.
The fuck out of here, Larry. Tired of this shit. Like,
damn.
Get out of here.
I would definitely, gamer,
Dude,
I am with you. I would not go outside at all until that thing fucking disappeared. But he smells meat.
Dude.
What do? It's you or him at some point. You better have a fucking weapon is all I'm
Depends
saying.
on what meat he's smelling.
Oh, my word. Yeah, but if you feed him, he's going to come back for more.
Watch this crazy shit. That's a bear.
Bears can be
chased
fast.
by a fucking moose.
That's a moose?
Like,
wow.
That's a moose.
Damn.
Like, look at how fast he's going. You know, I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah, bears are quick.
Gone.
Bears are quick.
Yep.
Reef knows.
Oh, I know.
The worst part of being a
You
lion
gotta
is the
hit
chance
him
of
with
being
the-
attacked by a lion. Okay, that's funny.
Lion. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god, look at the little Healy boy. Oh.
I'm gonna go water ski.
It's so cute.
I'm gonna go water skiing.
like they're supposed to be on a walk, man. You're supposed to be like walking, not like sliding. He's literally dragging the dog, dude. It was like, bro, get up and walkies.
That is my mastermind hour. I hope the lions aren't attracted to the scent of stained underwear. Yeah. Yeah, the minute he started fucking growling like that, I'd be shitting my pants too.
I wore my brown pants.
Damn. Okay.
Speaking of pants, like,
what
would you wear to the would you wear to, like, is this your new business suit?
Is that like a skin suit?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
like,
you have to send that to Jesse. That needs to be the cover for Skin Suits. For the song Skin Suits. Yes.
Sure.
That's so nasty. Dude, the suit has nipples.
Yeah, hold on. Look, here's the backside.
Dude. That's AOC's next Met Gala suit. Winner.
Oh,
Bro. Dude, that's funny.
Last week, you saw him box. Now, see him tennis.
20, 30, 30, 40 love. It's you. Said you're gonna be starting something. Bro.
Yeah, dude, he's doing it.
Mike can whack a,
Get the
can whack a
little
ball.
smooth criminal lean.
Ah. Holy shit.
Yes, he can. They had a whole court trial for that. Anyway, here we go. I just like. That's so funny, dude.
I don't know what's funnier, the spit in the face or the slap in the face.
That's the slap.
What are you doing?
I think also their laughs are funny, so. This one is just called As Jamaica as It Gets Part 2.
Why? Why, you fucking idiot?
Damn. As Jamaican as it gets. And
I don't know. I didn't watch this far.
did it go in the water? Oh, I thought it was going to go in the water.
For some reason I wanted them to like pit maneuver the horse. You know, like.
Nice.
Oh God! All right, this I gotta turn off, and then I gotta have this ready, and then watch. This is so good, dude.
It's yeah. I know it's coming.
It's all about geometry.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at it.
Look at the boy.
So good.
Dude.
Look at him. I love him so much.
A Shaq cake.
How could you not love that Shaquille? Shaquille's a very good looking man.
I need a Shaq cake.
Shaq looks good as a pancake. Shaq would eat Shaq. I found you a new computer, bro. I found you a new computer. Can you use this? Will this work?
Split screen? Well, for chat.
Will this work?
I can put chat up there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you could. What was this? Is this what that submarine used? Is this what they were using?
It's a Macintosh.
Oh God.
I can tell you that.
Is it?
Well, you can see the logo underneath, yeah, and the keyboard and the mouse. That's all Mac, but somebody just replaced the screen with a monster speaker and a couple of disk drives.
No, dude, that was default.
Listen, that's a 5 1/4 inch floppy and a 3 1/2 inch. Look at those slots. Right?
Shit, a 3 1/2. I know.
No, the 5 1/4.
You might as well put like a laser disc in.
The 5 1/4 is the one that's really shocking. Time is slipping.
Yeah, that's
into
the big
the
one.
future.
That's that big floppy.
Slipping. Yes.
Time
Orca.
keeps on slipping.
Yes. Fly like a
into the future. So do you know who Kit Boga is? Have you heard of Kit Boga?
No.
So he's I guess you call him a hacker, right? I guess he's done some. So what he does is he sets up computers that are like bait computers for scammers, and then like goes through their nonsense to see how, and like he trolls them back. He like wastes their time, right? So this one he's setting up, right, is like this is the balance of Bitcoin he is supposedly sending. He literally has like a fake Kraken website on his computer so he can do this. He like recoded a Kraken website to do it.
Wow.
Right? So he's done it for Amazon too. Like all these little scams these guys use, he's like but all he did was like put in a different code. You know,
I'm about to send him $455,000 worth of Bitcoin, but I typed the wrong wallet address.
Why didn't you copy and paste? Might be you typed something wrong.
Nah, I double checked it.
Where is 3? You typed the wrong address. I gave you the right address, still you typed the wrong address.
BGKP. 3GK.
Where the B is coming from?
I don't know. I could have swore. I know I typed it right.
Dumb. Tell them that was not the right address.
How could you mess up this badly?
I already gave you the right address.
Why did you do that, Joe? Why'd you pick a 3? It looks just like a B.
You did it, dumb. Literally, you were the most mother. I literally know what's at the moment, and I'm that much angry. $450,000. Are you serious right now?
That money was supposed to go to you.
Where'd it go?
That money was supposed to. He literally sent it to the wrong address, but he made a whole thing that like it didn't matter what wallet it sent. You know.
Okay.
Like it would give you like all it would do was like when you hit send, it would take you to like the end sent screen, and it wouldn't do anything else, and it would just appear like you sent the stuff. You know.
So he's scamming the scammers.
Yes, he's very good at it. Go check him out on Twitch. He does live streams of it. He has like different like voice changers set up. He does it like as an old lady, and he like went and like with the Amazon gift cards that they gave him, she like cashed it into like Walmart or whatever, like online, and bought like, I could buy 2 Razor scoots and give one to like the scoots, like the scooters. It was so good. The old lady one is amazing, you know. And he literally like he has them call back like 2 days from now. Like he just wastes their time so much.
That's awesome.
And it's the best. Anyway,
I used to do that. Like they would ask, like a scammer would call me, and you know the worst thing for them is wasting time. So I'd be like, yeah. Hold on a second, he's here. Hang on.
Yeah.
And I would just screw with him.
He's got a YouTube channel
for at least a few minutes. No, I wasn't even doing it for that. You know, I would just screw with the guy and then eventually they'd hang up. Either that or I like to do like I like to answer the phone and I whisper, I've got the body. Where's the bag? I love to do that and mess with the scammers. There's all kinds of funny things you can do, like for unknown callers.
Can you tell me who's graduating? Can you tell me who's graduating?
Dathrivarian?
Is that a you would?
The 3 variant. The 3 variant.
The variant.
The third.
The variant.
The variant. The third variant. The Travion. The Travion. The Travion. The Travion. Travion. The Travion. The Travion. The Travion.
Darth Varian. Bad Cookie says.
Darth Varian. Darth Varian.
I do Jerky Boy skits. Listen, I don't need to talk to you, Jerky. My name is Frank Rizzo. All right, Liver Lips? Yeah, I know. I've been there.
Joey Buttafuoco. All right. Watch this one. This guy, this is literally like Dukes of Hazzard nonsense. You know? He's literally getting on the truck that has like repoed his vehicle.
I love it.
Undoing it.
You gotta unhook it.
No.
And look, you just drive it off.
No fucking way
dude.
that just worked.
Like,
no way that just worked. And
he's like unhooking
the
it.
whole front of his car.
He's gotta unhook
Driving 60
dude,
miles
that's
an
what
hour.
is that? Is that a Ford?
That is a Ford Escape. And he did a Ford Escape.
That's what I got for this car. So I can escape.
It's a Ford Escape and a Ford Escape. Yes, the axle must have destroyed. Absolutely, Cookies. You're right. Vic Divitetto is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's from around. He's from around near me, and like I knew him. I got friends who know him since before he blew up and started screaming in his car. Bullshit. But,
so,
oh, is that the submersible?
Welcome to Air Emirates, where you might lose the whole panel of your plane.
Roof flies off.
No, look.
Hey now.
Look.
That's probably not a good thing.
Like, look, there it is.
I'm hoping that the luggage doesn't fly out.
You would hope, right?
Scare about
okay,
a mile
well,
back.
there's that one. What would you do? You're flying and you see this out the window. You like the window seat? You know? Yeah, just that face.
Wait,
like,
what?
dude, what? Oh! You see the tire fell off?
Oh, I saw the wheel fly off. No, not just the tire, the whole wheel. Woo!
And just his face of like, oh God. It's just, like no one's even noticing. This is just hilarity. It's so funny.
Okay. Why? That's probably not a good idea. To be holding a selfie stick with a conga line of... Ah! Look at the tongue!
No, I know.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know.
Ay, ay,
He
ay.
sees it like that.
All right, he saw his phone.
No mames.
Oh my god.
No mames is
Dude,
what
that
he's
is
about
a
to say.
conga line of rollerbladers. Oh, come on.
What is this?
What the fuck is,
What is
that? That is the Little Mermaid?
What the fuck is that? I don't know. I don't know.
Bro.
I don't know. Ay, Dios mío.
Bro, that's got to be AI art. That's got to be AI art.
No.
Bad
No,
cookies.
someone did this, I guess.
Bad cookies. Winner. I
identify as a hedgehog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast, baby.
Woo. Ay, caramba.
Would you
Yeah,
Ric Flair that?
It's Lisa Simpson.
Yeah. All right,
It's
here,
a
watch
mutant?
this one.
Bro, this guy is really not driving his car right now. He's ghosting it right now. And homie has a mask on. You gotta stay safe while you're not driving your vehicle on the freeway or ghosting
it. Yeah, definitely gotta stay safe. Amen, dude.
Gotta stay safe, dude.
Gotta stay
Safe
safe.
and effective, baby.
Holy shit, that's great.
Oh, God. This one, holy shit. All right, you ready? Action.
It looks like a green screen behind you. It's so fucking weird.
Why does everyone look?
You look like a streamer.
No green screen, real hands.
You look like a streamer. That wasn't my question.
Like a streamer. Oh my god! Just because I have a cool microphone.
Yeah. Are you?
What if I tell you? It's not a microphone.
I'm sorry.
Holy shit, that's great. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my god, that's great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not a microphone. That's my fucking arm. Oh,
It's
that's
not a
great.
microphone.
That's great.
Oh. Dude, this one is just. Oh, yeah, you could feel it, you know?
Women want me, fish fear me. Oh. Oh. He was gonna shoot that thing with a crossbow, by the way.
Well, with a regular bow, but yeah, that's yes, not a crossbow. The recurve.
It's not a cross
Not
punch.
even a recurve.
It's not a cross punch.
No, compound. No. A little compound boy. Crossbow's got like the rifle thing on it. You know? This what you had for breakfast?
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
KMUW, Distrik Kabupaten Bekasi.
Bro shits nails, literally.
Oh, God.
Yep. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
You're welcome. This one's just called That's Gonna Leave a Mark. And we have skateboards. Radical, dude.
Uh-oh.
You okay, dude?
I gotta work that out. I gotta work
Look
it
at the
out.
runnies. Look at the runnies. He
That's
ran
when you
down
know
the
you done
thing.
fucked
Like
up.
a bip, bip.
You added more speed to yourself.
Yep. Just shit whipped himself right into the
that's
concrete.
Brutal. Yikes.
So I know you think movies lie to you, but it happens.
Nice. That's awesome.
There goes Tom Cruise.
Oh, help me, Tom Cruise.
Help me, Tom Cruise. Help me, Oprah Winfrey.
I'm fire. I'm on fire.
This one's good.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. Oh, come on. Damn. Dude.
The first one is what gets me.
That shit will get you killed in the hood.
I know, dude. That's wild, dude. Like, what? Okay, so this is the
I have a submersible for you.
Dude, hold on.
All you need is $250,000.
So hold on. Listen to what this motherfucker said.
I'd like to be
Hold on.
remembered as an innovator. I think it was General MacArthur said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." And you know,
you're remembered for the rules you break.
Well,
all right, like
I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me. The carbon fiber and titanium. There's a rule you don't do that. Well,
there's a rule you don't do that.
Well, there's a reason why there's a rule for that.
Yep, there's a reason why there's a rule for
Oh man. Oh, that's terrible.
Bro, look at it.
Oh, that's
look
terrible.
at it. Look, you got the original Sony PS1s out here. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's rigged better than the Titan.
and then the Titan, yeah. This was rigged better than the Titan for sure. Whee! Okay, gotta stop the thing. All right, I got it. No, like,
oh no!
Look at it, we just levitated, dude.
Woo! Bye bye.
Wait for it.
There it goes.
Whee!
I want to go to space, mommy.
The trampoline people need me. Oh God. So you know how we end wings here. You know how we do it.
Oh boy.
It's that time again.
Oh boy. He's just filling up his tires with air. What's gonna happen to this guy?
Air in that thing.
Oh. Oh, that tire's gonna explode. Oh, I feel bad. Oh. Nice reaction time.
I know,
Yes.
dude. That could have been so much worser.
Wow.
So much worser.
Uh-oh.
Dude, we gotta kill the
Things
roach,
go
bro.
back again. Oh no. You're gonna set it on fire?
There it is. Oh.
Dude. How much spray you gotta use? I don't think you know how to do this right, man. Oh!
Really?
Oh!
Really? Fine. I'll refresh. Let's see if that fixes things.
Nope.
I mean, kinda. Why? You just loaded it. I don't. Like, just play to the end. Ooh, like I mean, like, why won't it play till the end?
Reddit hates our show. I swear.
Reddit sucks. Reddit sucks, man. God damn it.
Send it to me. Maybe it's your internet.
No, it just does this.
Oh, somebody's gonna take a
Here we go.
A trip.
Just do it.
What?
RPG,
Oh no.
inbound.
Oh no.
Run.
Oh my god. Oh, he did not run.
Oh, fuck.
Narrator, he did not run,
shit.
run.
He did not run. And that's how he knew he fucked up.
Nice.
So I figured this one's a good one to end on.
Bye.
Wait. Oh fuck. Bye.
like she realized she was still recording. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Dude, that literally sent her across the room. Oh fuck. In her Mickey t-shirt.
Oh, I want to see it again. Hold on. Oh fuck.
Dude, that's great. Was that crack? Oh man. That's hardcore. Was that crack?
I think just hairspray.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't do crack.
Hey, fam. That's boats.
All right.
We'll do it live.
So, by the way, Juan Guaido and Navalny are now leading the march to Moscow, per CNN. This tweet took off yesterday a little bit.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
And then we have a further update.
This, right?
Yes, earlier today. Breaking, Juan Guaido has just named himself the new head of Wagner, per CNN. Shout out to Comedy Central 2 for the graphic. That was cracking me up today. Juan Guaido, always good for a laugh. And then we finally...
Great success.
Yes, great success. Built out a weekly schedule to make this easier for everyone to understand what's on when on INN. So Mondays, we have Politically Homeless with Crab and Chris.
He's homeless.
Tuesdays, every other Tuesday, and it will be coming this Tuesday, we will have Sue's Talica with Jesse and Indy. Wednesday, we'll have INN News with Reef and Colin, and special guest Kit Cabello from Hardlands News will be joining Reef and Colin, as far as I know.
American tradition.
Thank you, Tim Dillon. Thursday will be Bread and Circuses with Chris. He's had 2 episodes already. They've been really well received. Friday, we will see the return of the Handsome Cynic. I'm also considering trying something. Boats has never been its own show, and it's kind of been this kind of cool kids club that unless you watch How Did We Miss That, you wouldn't know it even existed. And I'm thinking about making it a Friday night show. Cutting this portion out of Boats and putting it on at 10 o'clock Friday night when very few other friends of ours are live, and having some fun and doing some Reddit cringe for people that have missed that segment. I know Gamer is a big fan of the Boats segment. So Saturday night, we will see the return of Bitch with Comrade Misty. She took the week off to hang out with the hubby. And next Sunday night, we will be right back here for How Do We Miss That Again? Check out on TNT Radio live. Misty had Primo Radical on Friday. I don't know if the episode is up yet, but it will be soon. So definitely give that a listen. I'm sure that will be fascinating. Primo doesn't do very many interviews, and Misty said it went really well. It was a very smooth, free-flowing conversation. I helped book that for her. Primo, love him, appreciate him stepping up and going on a Misty show. I know he's a big fan of Misty's. They're good friends, so it was natural for him to want to do so. But yeah, man, we did it. We made it through another show, another How Do We Miss That? I appreciate everyone and love you all. Oh, it is. Okay, thank you. Jordan Deck saying that it is already up on TNT Radio. So you can... Where's Jordan's chat there? I don't see it there. But yeah, you can go listen to a replay of Misty and Primo. But so until next Sunday, well, come watch us on Seuss Talica. Seuss Talica is going to be fucking awesome. I'm telling you right now. I look forward to a lot of shows. I am really looking forward to that one. I think that Jesse may even be doing like Fade to Black acoustic. So if for no other reason, then tune in to watch Jesse play Fade to Black acoustically. But Seuss Talica is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So for tonight, I'm going to say...
at the Florida Coliseum. Soustalica.
Soustalica. Sunday. Also,
Sunday.
Substack at indiemedia.today. IndependentLeft.gg is our Discord. Come hang out in there. Bad Cookies found it, and we've been DMing, having a lot of fun in there. INN Live every day this week, like I showed you. And go to our TikTok.com/@indienews.network. And you can go to indienews.network to get all of the INN channels, as well as find links to all of the members. So, like I said, this is Indy and Reef saying, keep questioning everybody's motivations, and I fucking hate it here.
Keep listening to what little birds have to tell you.
Mwah. Ciao, baby.
Julia.
Indie News Network, collaborative family of independent content creators. Co-hosted normally by me, Indy. I'm founder and editor of Indie Left News and Indie Media Today. I got Reef Breland sitting next to me.
At Kennedy News.
Is Andrew Rivera on The Handsome Cynic?
Politics is survival.
My name is Jesse Jett.
It's American tradition.
What's up, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden.
I mostly make art for INN.
Big Man Crab Joe. Keep up those great videos.
Hey guys, it's Yeti. Coming at you.
Hello, my name is Lucy from Blue Moon Red Wine.
This is Chris Legion.
Keep fighting that good fight out there, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Who are these people?
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry.
My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually